spoon. If you eat keep on crunchy like my brother to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? This one you got today. Spoon TV. This one you got today. Spoon TV. Spoon TV. Skiddy dabado. Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment. Kua. Bese kua, go to there. Kua, go to there. On the spoon, yes, I information. On the spoon, to be spoon, to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat keep on crunchy like my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? This one you got today.
Yes, indeed. It doesn't matter where you are, what time of the day or night it is. Whether you're in Liberia, you're in the US, you're in Asia, you're in Australia. This is where Liberians gather to get authentic information. Of course, the most listened to program on radio and online. Spoon Talk is back on the airwaves and, of course, on the different social media platforms. Spoon Talk is here. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1 FM, Super 95.5, and we're live on Spoon 107.5 as well. My name is Nelson Colette. You can also follow us on YouTube. We're there at Spoon Talk Live. On this edition of the program, let me usher in Dr. Richardson here now as we encourage you to call other people to join us as the spoon train takes off tonight. Mr. Fagon has a train, so I want a train here. Let me say good evening to you, Dr. Richardson. You are muted.
Hold on. Yeah, I think everybody's gonna start buying trains, though Mr. Fagon train is outdated. We could describe the train as outdated as blank. But That will come soon.
Syria issue there, the man coming.
Yeah, you'll come here. Your former CEO, they will come. But we got a few more months to election, so it's gonna be tough on Spoon. Just come
Yeah.
and be a part of the ride. We're gonna be dissecting the information from different perspective. You know who I am, who I support. I support Mr. Alexander Cummings. Mr. Fagon he supports Joseph Buckeye. Our former CEO likes to tell us that he doesn't support anyone, but I'll let you guys determine who he supports. And we got the Gongo team here, and we have also Dr. Maniba team here. So we all see things differently, which is good. Our job is to sharpen the contrast. Some people will say, oh, our target is CDC. Some of my colleagues believe that it is, and I don't think so. I think I can kill two birds with one stone. So,
Wow.
yes, Nelson, how are you doing today?
Yeah, Dr. Richardson, I'm doing good, and I'm glad to be here again. Uh, Here in Liberia, we're in the rainy season now, so we had a wet day today. It's
Mm.
been raining in Monrovia since this morning, even up to now. Yeah,
Nelson,
it's a really
believe it or not, I miss the rainy season. I miss the rainfall dropping on the zinc.
oh wow,
You don't hear that anywhere. I mean, when it rains here, I don't even know sometimes that it's raining outside. I
wow.
miss that. I miss that. I mean, I slept so soundly when it rained in Liberia. Uh, especially especially when we went on the farm because the roof was not as protected, so you could hear
Okay,
outside, and so it was the perfect place to be. But
wow.
that's the thing too. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good thing about the rainy season to me.
Anyway, yeah, but interestingly, here when we hit the rainy season, so
Mhm.
many people complain because the rain stops people from doing a whole lot. Um, in a case where maybe you don't have umbrella, you are not mobile. Your next worry is how do you get out of your home? So even go out there doing other things you want to do, and it's either you get there wet or you wait somewhere until maybe you get late.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let you be happy when get snow there. Huh? That's all I can say. 'Cause I can imagine the snow really, really mobilize some people. You know, yeah, we go 24 hours, rain, sun, whatever weather it is, you gotta go.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the capitalism at work.
Yeah. So yeah, but that originates in one aspect, one difference. Maybe there is that here, um, so many people, most people do their businesses and so forth. So for them, they control time. They control their time. Like when you're going to open your shop, or though there is still this fear that maybe you're missing out on a whole lot. Customers coming to your shop and they're not seeing you, or maybe the time you're supposed to be at your business center, you're not there. And then the other one is you how to get there. Sometimes you're not mobile and so forth, which is the case here most times. But unlike where you are, the discipline. I think the discipline is everything too, because you're supposed to be at work 8 o'clock, and whether it's snowing, it's raining, you gotta be there.
Yeah.
Here people can understand too much. Sometimes people can understand too much. The
Yes.
man, the man supposed to be at work 8 o'clock. The man
Mhm.
comes maybe 9 o'clock. Man says, "Yeah, it was raining, your chief."
No. You know,
Consistently, you roll.
yeah, I don't have to clock in anymore, but for the most part, a lot of companies have a clock in system. So if you
Okay.
go 15 minutes, 30 minutes late, they will advise you, but your pay will feel it. It will be deducted from your pay. There's no understanding on that part.
Oh, no free advice.
No free advice, I mean, and then you just get used to it. It's a part of you, like starting on time and ending on time is professionalism. So So
Yeah.
no free advice. And if I don't show up like for something, somebody complains about it. Like if I don't show up my class at 4:30, that's my class supposed to start. You think my students will just sit down there and just wait for me? In fact, they give me 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, they're allowed to leave.
Hmm. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, we'll get to that place. I'm conflicted. I like some of our Liberian culture, our things, and then a part of me just don't, a part of me don't like it. I like it. I really do. So the good things will bring with us, when Mr. Cummings win, we'll bring with the good things with us, and
Okay.
the bad things will let it stay right here.
Yeah, like the Liberian man time thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, no, got that is money. Time is money. That's how we see it. That's how I see it. So yeah.
yeah.
But what's going on? Let's welcome Mr. Sano to the show. Mr. Sano, Daniel, how are you today?
I'm doing good.
Oh, that's
How
good.
are you?
I'm
How are you
doing well.
doing?
I'm doing
It's been
well.
a while. I was under the weather the whole of last week, so I wasn't able to
Oh,
come on the show.
I'm sorry. Are
Yes,
you feeling much better?
I feel much better. Absolutely.
Okay. Pepper soup. That my medicine. Yeah. Yeah. So Nelson, you want to tell us some trending issues?
Yeah. So many things happening in the country, but I will just go through a few. Now, this issue with sanctioned officials of government is something that Liberians have been talking about for some time. Um, on the 15th of August 2022, that was last year, the
Mhm,
US government sanctioned three top officials of government. And even before that, we saw two other officials were being sanctioned as well.
mhm,
In the case of Senator Prince Johnson, whose sanctioned happened before the recent three officials, his own was pay for play. And in the case of the recent three officials, they were sanctioned for public corruption, though there are different breakdowns and everything in that
mhm.
statement on the US government website.
Yeah.
But today, the outgoing US ambassador had a press conference
Mhm,
where he expressed disappointment over the nomination of those sanctioned officials
mhm,
by political parties in the country. So
mhm,
just to go back a little, after the three officials were sanctioned, there was public pressure, and then the president suspended them, and then in no time they came back and resigned. And then following that, we saw that what in fact two of them, Minister Miguel is contesting in um, Margibi County. He just did his process not too long. It was completed. He's pulling the crowd in that part of the country, and he's going on the ticket of the CDC. And on the flip side, the NPA boss, the former NPA boss, Mr.
Really?
Biltari, yeah, is contesting in Riverside County as well. So
Really?
today, the U.S. ambassador expressed disappointment. The outgoing ambassador expressed disappointment over how those uh, sanctioned officials are being nominated by political parties in the country. Now, on the flip side, the uh, recently Senator Dillon raised some issues at the legislature about some lawmakers
Mhm,
having shares in companies that they award contracts to, and because they are connected to those companies, when it comes to the aspect where those companies are supposed to be questioned, they're supposed to be brought, before that house for questioning over the delay of some of those projects. They don't show up and so forth.
mhm,
So
mhm,
today, one of the persons accused, Senator Sir Joseph,
mhm,
spoke to that issue today. The Montserrat County senator vehemently rejected the claim made by his colleague, Senator Darius DeLon. According to him, he and other lawmakers own construction companies that were awarded that they don't own construction companies that were awarded contracts, and so they own. In fact, sorry, let me get it right. They own construction companies, but it was they were not awarded contracts. Yeah. So he said at no time was he in the middle of that conflict of interest issue that Senator Dillon spoke of. Now, on the flip side, the Senate today invited some of those from the public works to appear to answer questions to that very issue that was raised by the senator, and some of those people appear today. So now, so the Grand Creek County Senator Nemeni Batikwe raised a motion today on the floor when those individuals appeared, and according to him, the fact that the public officials provided fabricated information, they should appear before the Senate along with their lawyers to state why they should not be held in contempt. So there is a contempt hearing up for them for allegedly lying on an oath, providing contradicting information about that issue today. So on the flip side, yeah, so those are just some of the happenings that the richest in. Maybe I'd like to stop here and other
Wow.
folks.
Wow, that's a lot going on. Always a busy country, but thank you, Nelson, for informing us about what happened in the Senate today and what the American ambassador had to say now that he's leaving. I'm just going to ask Daniel and Jeru to please help me welcome some of our viewers today. So you guys can pick and start wherever you want to start from. And let's do that. So Daniel, we'll start with you since you were here first. Please help me welcome at least 6 or 7 of our viewers, and then we'll go to Mr. Jeru.
Okay, so thank you. Let me start by welcoming Jupiter Embassy, CDC agent, they all watching. Kazulu Moose, watching from Potomac, Maryland, USA. Chris J.F. Foucault, his Pond family, I'm watching from 72nd Painesville City. Azita Griffin, she says she here. Clarence Benson, following from Hampton, Canada. Pearl Campbell, Marion Hill, Kwesi Badiako Wasi Wallace, Lofty Imani Kroman, Clarence Benson, Abby Burma, Omen Zizu, James Dunn, Milton Jala, Melvin Chempo Karinda Sr., Jay Reeves, Francis Dennis, Joanne Colley, Sando Colley, Ted Banks, Shamel Rocha, George B. Flomo, Kafuma Donso.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sando. I'm going to go to Gibson Jr. Please help me welcome our viewers today.
You are muted. You are muted, Gibbs.
Good evening, Dr. Regis, and good evening, my own man, Sando. This one, let me say welcome to my man, Morris Kennedy, Gason from GSA Road, Painesville. Clarence Benson said Dr. Richardson looks 20 years younger. Are you kidding me? Is that what you up to today? Oh man, Zizu say Montserrado District 17 is in urgent need of electricity. Batnersville, Red Hill, Field, Iron Gate, VOA, Paco Corner, and other communities. Former MCC watching from Matadi Single. Good evening. And let me go down here to this one to not KwaZulu. They already talked about KwaZulu. Azik Gray Fund, welcome. And this one is coming from Marion Hill. He said, hey, sis, Dr. Richardson, I own a reason. I think it should be my only reason I watched this spoon talk, my man, you on your own. And then to you, oh, lady, he said, it's only for you because all of those who is supporting JNB on this show disrespect you every day, and it hurts me too much.
Yes, Lou. So we honor him. Yeah, five. Be one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be warned.
Yeah, absolutely. Let them be warned. Let them be warned. Yes. Jupiter Embassy say, where is the sunshine? It's where Jerry Gibson will go. Just watch my word and wait. Okay. He said, I follow the sunshine, you know. Somebody says, Sam Roberts watching from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I want to go down quickly to Joan Colley. It's a good evening, team. Cephas Frederick Dolo. I'm watching from North Dakota. George Flomo. Gerald Gibson. Oh, why you call my name like that? That's not fair. You didn't say anything. And this is going to come from Donzo say, the people, Dr. Richardson, you look amazingly beautiful. Guys, only ladies should praise this woman on this show. You guys will be in trouble if you do anything like that. And let me go to Felicia Gibson. It's a good evening, guys, watching from Pennsylvania. Oh, we have a lot of American people here tonight. And this Stanley is present, answering present to this show. And George Flomo say, welcome, everyone. Let me do the last one coming from Dominic Trogan Jones. We are following from the comfort of our home in AOWA Rock Hill community.
Yes. Doesn't Mr. Gibson just bring an extra sponge, spike to, welcome you guys? I really like the way you do it. You bring your journalistic approach to it. So thank you. I'm just going to welcome a few of you. This is your station. So we're going to ask you to please participate. We're going to express different views here. And as it gets closer, you'll probably find us sharpening the contrast, and also maybe we might not be too friendly with each other, but we are friends in the back. We argue in the back too, but we are friends. So I'm just going to join Mr. Sano and Mr. Jiri to welcome Tana Newport, watching from LBS resident Lover Street. Oh, they got Lover Street in Liberia. Virginia, the state of Virginia over here is for lovers. Solo G, we don't need any scanned political parties around here. Only two parties leading, and we know. Okay. Sandra Cully, Mr. Gibson, you are a astute guy. Long time from Busa Quarter. Oh, Busa Quarter. June, all of you who are in Busa Quarter, please watch, because Mr. Gibson Jiri is here. You might know him. You might recognize him. Junes Gray is watching from Lighthouse of Senator Abraham Darius Dillon in Monrovia. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Welcome. Morris Harris, attack starts already. Hassan B. Simavula, JNP is the next president. Let's go to Kenyatta Wia is watching from King County, Washington, USA. Agnes Finda Samaka is also here. She's watching. Baker Ramsey is here. Jerry Blamo is also here. Moses Kamara is watching from PA. Say, Jeremiah, good evening to you too. Say, Nan Gordon is watching from New Jersey. Kwekon F. Sedu is watching from ambassador of the rescue mission, following from ambassador. Okay, they have the embassy maybe of the rescue mission ambassador. Okay, Say Morris is from Dallas, Texas. We got people all over the United States and Liberia and the world. Abraham Goya is from Minnesota. Amos Lumbe is from Monrovia. Amos, how are you doing? Solomon Gapu Sr. is watching from Johnsonville resident. Gregory JNB Banner is watching from New Georgia Estate. Johnson PJ is watching from Atlanta. We're gonna stop here. I'm going to also be leaving, and I'll be returning. I have to another meeting to attend, but I just wanted to come on and get started. So hopefully, the CEO or the former CEO or Mr. Falcon will be on here to take over, and then hopefully I'll come back. I'll come back depending on what the subject is about. Okay, so want to check in with you, Daniel. You haven't been feeling well, but what's been going on? What's on your mind?
Well, a lot has been going on for me, and I do believe that this platform has not been left behind. I mean, I have not been appearing here regularly because I was on the weather, like I said last week. But I do know that it's been very tense. I followed the CEO on the extra, I don't know if I say extra edition of the show.
It's an after party now.
I went up to almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I was listening to the radio and I dozed up to sleep.
Wow.
And Dr. Richardson left. She had to come back to interrupt and disrupt the conversation and everything. So I show you guys been following as well. But on the overall, I think the rescue mission has had a very, very successful outreach in 3 significant counties. That for me is very cardinal. And I don't believe that we should allow.
Wait. Who removing me? Wait, Daniel, hold on 1 minute. Nelson, don't touch it, please. Somebody is removing me. Please.
There's something happening. Okay, good. For some reason, since I'm seeing you on the screen, I'm not hearing you. Maybe you muted.
Can you hear me?
But on
Nelson,
my other device,
don't
I'm
touch
not seeing it. Well, we can
Nelson.
see Spoon Talk, but it's dark.
I'm hearing you. See you.
Can
I'm
you guys
hearing
hear
you.
me?
But
I'm
but
hearing
don't
you.
touch,
I'm hearing
don't
you.
touch anything.
Oh.
Can you see me?
Okay.
We see you.
Something's going on my
Yeah.
screen, but
Put your
go
2
ahead.
hands up,
Can you guys
Nelson.
see
Put your 2
Santa?
hands up. Gibson, put your hands up,
There's something
Gibson. It
going
look
on
like
my
Gibson trying to
network
mess
over
with
here.
me. No.
Hold on,
That's
let
a
me
No,
tactic.
Gibson. Gibson, you need to stop. You need to stop. You
So
see,
what am I doing? What am I doing?
can we turn off the other devices? Dr. Richardson, you got something on?
What am I doing?
Can we turn off the other devices? Dr. Richardson, you got something? Okay, that Gibson is from Gibson. Gibson is coming with an echo. Can you hear me, Daniel? Daniel,
Yes, I can hear you.
Daniel, you good. Dr. Richardson, can you hear me? Dr. Richardson? Oh, Dr. Richardson gone. All right, let me unmute Gibson and probably Brother Gibson.
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Hello?
I'm hearing you. You hearing me?
So we good. Maybe it was Dr. Richardson, maybe from her end. Yes, you are. We good. We good. Go ahead, Daniel. Sorry, man, but I was getting scared that Gibson trying to kick me out. I was trying to figure out how he got into our system. I cannot trust Gibson though. Seriously. Gibson from Taiwan Gonglo, and they tried to kick me off from my own show. They brought Lami to kick me off. Lami didn't make it. They brought Mape, Abula Mape, and it looked like they were bringing Dr. Yagbawulo himself. But let's have a good show, folks.
Yes. So, but where is Dr. Richardson? I was addressing her on that.
Yeah, she's coming.
I was saying that. I mean, for me, the last couple of days have been very impressive. The rescue mission had a very successful outreach in Magibi, Bong, and Nima of all places. I really do believe that the turnout was very impressive. When you begin to see such enthusiasm from our people, especially so when Joseph Boaka is supposed to be the poorest candidate in the race, there's no money to do massive mobilization. There's no money to rent buses and cab motors to convey people from the leeward areas of the county to converge the city, and you see people turning out in mass voluntarily to welcome the presidential candidate. I think for me, then I mean, I'm not complacent, but I get encouraged to do more because I do believe that that show of support is massive. That massive show of support is underpinned by the conformity to which our campaign message uh, is connecting with the people of the country. So, and I think for some of us who support Joseph Boakai, we should talk more of the successes of the outreach, focus more on our messaging, and not allow ourselves to be distracted by the petty propaganda that is being spread out there by our distractors. So yes, I mean, to speak to your question, the last couple of weeks have been very, very intense. We've been focused on reaching out, which have been very successful. And we look forward to doing more of those outreach. We do believe that the campaign is going to be won by people who reached most voters. And I have no doubt that the rescue mission is well situated to achieve that goal.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We appreciate your time as always. Again, we wish you well. Yesterday, I heard you were under the weather, and indeed, we were able to chat today. It's good to see you, my brother. Let me bring in Mr. Jeru Gibson. From your end, what's going on, my brother?
Well, I have two things to talk about. This afternoon, I went out to gauge the public, and I engaged a number of young people. I think there were 2 or 3 JNB people, a couple of Tiawan Gonglo, and some CD Shen, some George Weah supporters. But what struck me most is I think the young people get it, especially one of those who supported George Weah and he said, "Big brother, I voted for him. He told us that our suffering was going to end." And yet or here, the same thing. But now we are confused now who we should put there because we think that everybody, when we put in there, they can lie to us. Anyways, I told him Tiawan Gonglo would not lie to him. But the point I'm trying to make is it is very striking that even the little man in the street, the man who they call Zoko, has understood that George Weah has outlived his usefulness in the Liberian presidency. This man has shown great, immense ingratitude to the people who gave him power. He betrayed their trust. He has shown to them that only his interests matter, only his concerns matter, only Standard usually say tien tien. Those are the things that matter to George Weah, and the little man in the street have understood. What we need to do now is to speak to those silent voters and tell them that they have nothing to lose by turning their back on George Weah, because George Weah turned his back on them ever since when he decided to abandon them, when he decided to lie to them, when he decided to enrich himself while the rest of the poor people continue to be poorer, when he decided to steal and steal and steal and have no remorse for what the country deserves. And I think that is, for me, a concern today. The only question, the second question I want to ask is, I'm still not really convinced that the people who promised Costa $30 million, we need to know their names. If Costa cannot call them, we need the JMB camp to disclose their names. Why the JMB refused them? We need to know these kind of people who want to put $30 million in our political system to select an individual who probably was not even a choice of any sort. We want to know this. And I think Mo Ali was part of that delegation that went to Ghana. Mo Ali would be a very, very important person to disclose to us who those $30 million individuals are. And then we want to make sure we shame the devil out of them. Why is laughing, Senator?
I'm laughing because it's ludicrous on what you are saying.
It's
Did Joseph
not.
Yuma Boyka? Let me. Okay, are you finished? I will give you the time.
Yeah,
You
no, I can't.
you,
No,
you
go
finish
ahead.
up.
We can interact, but I will wait. Let me pause myself. Let me mute myself and listen.
Thank you very much. Did Joseph Yuma Boyka ever said to you that somebody promised me 30 million and I'm going to meet them?
Stanton, we are all here, and you can pretend not to know all you want. Joseph Walker traveled to Ghana to meet a group of people who promised $30 million. Joseph Walker turned his back on that for a certain reason that we do not know. So it is fair indeed that we understand, because this goes far beyond offering Joseph Walker $30 million. It goes far
Gibson,
beyond that. It goes
Gibson,
deeper. Yes.
Gibson.
Yes.
You're a journalist. This is what you
Yep.
do for a living, or you used to do for a living. My
Yes.
question was very direct. Did Joseph Yuma Boyka announce to Liberians home and abroad that I'm traveling to Ghana to negotiate a $30 million deal?
No, definitely Joseph Walker would not say
Thank
that,
you.
because it looks so
No,
shameful.
but let's make it very simple now. Let's make it very simple. And that's
Yeah.
what we do on this phone talk. You
Would
just
you
said,
have
no,
done
he
it?
didn't. Excuse me?
Would you have done it to go to be a
No,
presidential
but
candidate?
I'm asking you the question now, though, Gibson, because I want us to get to the show, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm just asking you from the JMB camp, right? I didn't receive anything from the JMB camp. I mean, I understand Costa said it. I understand folks are saying it. But from the JMB camp, you can tell us and say, yes, for this purpose, I traveled to Ghana.
You will not do
I
that.
think, I think the best thing we can do, or the best thing I would prefer, I'm seeking to know who offering the $30 million, like you said.
Good. Good.
Okay. And I think the best person to ask is Costa. Who offering the
What,
30
what
million
if
dollars?
Costa
Who?
don't want to
Oh, hold
say?
on now.
What if Costa don't want to say?
Yeah, but hold on.
I'm just asking. I'm
Let me
just
bring in.
popping between to ask you questions. You know, we are
Yeah, let
journalists.
me.
We like to pop in
Yeah,
questions.
yeah. Yes, fine. But I don't know why we Costa hold back those folks that try to finance the JMB campaign or finance him to give him $30 million. I don't know why he holding those names or those company. And why would he hold it back? If you want to tell it all, tell it all. Listen, Gibson Jerry told me to meet him to Ghana. He will give me $30 million to run for president. I declined, and he said, well, I can run for vice president. Gibson Jerry told me. But I will agree with you to some point, Gibson. This story going to come out.
It
This
definitely
story
will.
going to come out. It will. This story going to come out the day in which a plane ticket was bought, the trip was made, where they met, who they met, those that were there. Gibson, we run one of the biggest media organization in Liberia. Thank God. If it is not the biggest, one of the biggest. We know the in and out of this story. But at appropriate time, the right folks will put it out. They will. I'm not dismissing your question, though. It's a fair question. But Daniel Sander, to the Gibson question, will you ask JMB to give us the names of those he met, or this is on Costa to tell the Liberian people who he said was going to finance the campaign and finance the election?
Absolutely not. Because as far as the public is concerned, Joseph Kimabwaga have made no pronouncement as to why he went to Ghana, the nature of his meeting in Ghana. He said nothing to the public about whatever meeting was held in Ghana. Everything we heard about what happened in Ghana was heard through the grapevine, which cannot be independently verified. The only person who has been very emphatic to inform the public yesterday and attach dates, venue to his meeting and everything is Mr. Henry Costa. I mean, for me, I think the public have done justice to what Costa said yesterday, but to the concern that Gibson has, I think those concerns should be directed towards Mr. Henry Costa, because under our jurisprudence, I mean, he who alleges is under obligation to prove. It is Costa who is alleging that his financiers called and offered him $30 million. $30 million for me is alarming, for which if the government of the day was any serious government, they should be concerned to ask the question that Gibson is asking, because this could be something like money laundering, terror financing, and for the most part, it is against the new election laws of Liberia for a political candidate in Liberia to solicit money from a foreign person in that tune. So I hope Mr. Costa is aware of the implication and the political legal reverberation of some of the pronouncements he's making. So yes, the concern Gibson has is legitimate, but I think those concerns should be directed towards Mr. Costa, because he's the one who is alleging that somebody has offered to give him 30 million. I mean, this person cannot be a ghost donor. Of course, the 30 million is not just a drop in the bucket. It's a huge sum of money that can cost a lot of, that change a lot of things in Liberia. So he needs to tell the public, see, these are my financial, this is source of the money and everything.
Let me ask you, Daniel. Daniel, you've been around the block. Before we bring in our brother Gibson, just on a very, very Liberians are listening to us. We will go into the conversation. Let me ask you. Hold on, Gibson. Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah.
Daniel Sando, do you believe just the 30 million story? Do you believe it?
The story by itself sounds too good to be true, because I'm not a financial person, but 30 million is not. It's not a money that anybody would just want to say, oh, Stanton Waterspoon can win election, so I want to give him $30 million. I mean, that story, I can't say it is fictitious, but it sounds too good to be true. That's what I can say for now. I mean, I have never seen that kind of goodwill that somebody just sees Stanton Waterspoon on spoon and say, oh, the man, we are feeling assessing him. He got a bigger network in Liberia, he can win election, so let's go put 30 million in his campaign. Who needs 30 million to campaign in Liberia? Who needs 30 million? Do you know what 30 million can do for the whole country? At least to talk about a presidential campaign that will be over in 3 months. So, I mean, it sounds too good to be true. I don't know.
Daniel, my second question, though they're saying we'll give you 30 million to run, tell Liberians tonight, you think you can turn down 30 million for Joseph Imabwaga?
Well,
Stanton, let me say. I mean, the man is begging the question. The man is begging the issue.
Let's get the message. Can you turn down $30 million? No,
well,
seriously. I want to open a full line to ask.
Yes, a point. Yes, a point.
Thank you. Before we get to the point, I want you to answer, please. Daniel Sando, you working in Madame Yombli Kanga Lawrence's office, you doing your thing, you at the lecture, you hustling. Daniel Sando, can you turn down $30 million for Joseph Imabwaga?
It is highly likely impossible. If somebody comes, if I'm a presidential candidate, I want to contest. If somebody comes and say, I have 30 million for you, I mean, money is like the breast milk in politics. 30 million can change a lot of things for me. So if I want to contest election, I'm going to take the money to go and contest election. I will not take it and say I have confidence in somebody who can win the election, because the condition upon which these quote-unquote financial made an offer was that they have assessed Mr. Costa and he has the political weight to win the election. So what is needed to win an election is the popularity, the familiarity of the candidate with the voters, and you need to have the financial backing. So all of these assessments they did for Costa, coupled with the huge financial support that they have got for him, I do not think there's any reason why Costa will outrightly oppose or object the offer of 30 million in the name of supporting Joseph Imabwaga. So, I mean, the story is not just adding up. I mean, Stanton, because I know what you're heading to.
But let me bring it out, brother Gibson. Let me bring Gibson. Gibson, I know you're going to speak on this one. Gibson, you spend your 2,200, you bought your plane ticket, you are in Liberia, you depend on LDC or your generator, you're hustling for Tewon Gonglo. If you are offered 30 million not to support Tewon Gonglo, will you accept it?
Not to support Tewon Gonglo?
Yeah.
I I wouldn't no not to support your own goal. I wouldn't. But here is the issue. Let me open up a little bit for my brother.
I beg you.
Okay?
I beg you.
Let me open a
This is
little bit for my
interesting.
brother.
No, I know you're going to get into your
Yeah,
juice
no,
of this
I just
conversation.
told you. I just told you to not support Councilman.
I mean, because
Bongo.
but that's why they offer
I would not.
They said we gave you. They said we gave you 30 million, run for president. So if they come to you and say we have done all the assessment, you can win. We want to give you 30 million. Will you accept it though?
No, there's a reason why I will not accept it, and the reason is, in the Liberian Constitution forbids taking money from foreign
But
investors.
stop that story.
No,
but let's move on to our conversation,
You
man.
asked me a question. Let me respond.
Gibson,
Let
stop
me
that part of the story.
because you didn't see that. Let me open it up so you can see it.
I didn't see what. It's a basic question. Don't tell me about Constitution.
Just hold on.
Will you accept 30 million not to support
Let me
Tewan Gondo?
finish. The Constitution forbids the receiving foreign aid for election process. A man like Costa or myself to now have a $30 million to infuse into a campaign will be questionable. But for Joseph Boakai, it could be understandable because he's been in politics, and there's a possibility that people would think that he can raise $30 million from his supporters.
I'm not talking about Joseph Boakai.
So that's possible. But for me, if you say give me $30 million to run for president, I must first of all ask myself, do I want to run for president? Can I win even if I have $100 million?
Let get back to the story because you try to bring a Spanish story here that makes
no, it's not Spanish story. I'm trying to open up.
What do you understand about? I want to help us understand Gibson. This thing about the importance of the $30 million. Now I want us to open the debate to any presidential candidate in the race.
But
if it is true, there's a $30
million. Then you are missing the focus. If you focus on $30 million, you are missing the focus. The focus is an allegation against a major political stakeholder, a presidential candidate. Someone is accusing him of going to places to receive money that he did not receive, and he's shown the individual. For me, if I were in the Unity Party, there were several options I would consider. One, did Joseph Boakai refuse because it has foreign connotation? Did he refuse because the condition they attached to it? Did he refuse because they wanted to shove bone into his throat? There are several ways that the Unity Party can clarify this and everybody can understand. Joseph Boakai ain't got to say, no, I ain't go there. He can admit and say, yeah, German, I went there. I was called. I don't refuse the call, but I refuse what is in the call. I appeared there, but they told me this, and I think it is bad for our country. That's why I refuse it. That would be an honest explanation.
Let me speak to Gibson.
No. You would not interrupt Gibson. Let Gibson make his point, please. Gibson, you got 10 more seconds. Go ahead.
The issue we are discussing is in the code of public opinion. It's not in the code of law, Sando, for the accuser to be under the obligation to give evidence. It's in the code of public opinion. In the code of public opinion, political leaders are under obligation to clear their name. If VP Boakai did not clear his name now, he will have to clear it later. This is a stigma that will last for a longer time. For me, if I were in a United Party camp, I would have encouraged VP Boakai to offer a statement that would provide enlightenment for his followers so they know exactly what happened. As a leader, you can't just follow people to go to Ghana.
Thank you very much, Gibson. Thank you. Let's welcome Johnny. Johnny MK Debbie, we want to say welcome. You from Leno. We know that you've been representing your political party in full gear. It's good to see you, my brother. Talk to us. We don't just brush out this Costa thing because we got other issue. I want to tell our folks today, Joseph Yeman Boakai named John Molu the second. Why Joseph Yeman Boakai, Ambassador Boakai, VP Boakai, named John Molu? To hear what? We got to discuss that. We also receive information, if it is true, other political party leaders are now going to register to NEC. And other important news coming up from the CDC camp concerning George Manawea. I just want to bring you to speed, our brother Johnny. You're in. What's in your corner? What's happening with Clarence Maduba and his VSB Grace Ma. Talk to us from your corner.
Yeah, thank you. And let me extend my greetings to Liberians that are listening across the globe. For a matter of fact, Dr. Moniba and Madam Grace Kwan, have started working already. Madam Grace Kwan and Dr. Moniba are working now, looking at the potential of this drug issue in this country. We are beginning to look at preventive actions. The young generation that's coming up, the age of 10 to 15 and above, that are possibly potential victims of drug. They are working seriously to see how they can engage this group during the vacation to see how we can work with them to begin to see drug as something that is not very good for Liberian society. So that's the key thing they are looking at right now in the next few days. Fortunately for us, they've gone through the process. They are now registered candidates. NEC has certificated them, both of them, as candidates. I think from the list, they were the third group after President Weah and Ambassador Bokai. Dr. Monimba and Madam Grace Kwan were just certificated. They go on Saturday. So, besides the issue of drugs, that is very much concerning right now to Dr. Monimba and his vice standard bearer, they are looking at the opportunities where right now we are looking at agricultural sector where agriculture will be the source of school feeding programs in Liberia. That will be a way where we'll be encouraging our farmers to grow more food, and is a way of making our young people to begin to be nationalistic by eating that national food. So we are looking at how farmers will be producing beans, will be producing edos, cassava, plantain, just our Liberian food that will be
Thank you.
used for feeding program and after the takeover. So those are two issues now they are looking at currently.
Where are they currently? Where is Dr. Moluba right now?
Well, right now, I left him at the party headquarters around like 6, 7 o'clock. And Madam Graceman had gone home for some meetings. She informed her that there were some people in her community that are going to be.
What are some of his upcoming engagement?
Right now he is involved with community engagement a lot in the Morovia area. Every day, for the matter of fact, I've told him and all of that.
What are some of his upcoming engagement? When? Tomorrow? Where is he going? We're trying to give you the time that you can promote your candidate. You get any speaking engagement? You get meet and greet coming up?
No, currently we have not concluded the engagement. We are looking at on Thursday, if things go well, we should be doing probably a public engagement with Liberian people. And maybe after that, he'll be making some community engagement in the mortuary area. We are also planning to engage his home county, Lofa. For a matter of fact, I might be heading there maybe the next few days to start working with the team on the ground to begin to engage with people in Lofa. And in fact, today, I personally have a meeting with the aspirants from Lofa County. We'll try to discuss how we can probably go ahead and start doing mobilization for his.
Thank you very much. This is Johnny MK Debbie from Lino. We appreciate it. Let me bring it Daniel Sando. Daniel Sando, take off from where Gibson ended. I know you were trying to respond to Gibson, and we'll go back to Gibson. Gibson, we also want to promote Tawan Gonglo over here as well. So please be planning on the way in which tell us Tawan Gonglo next move, his engagement, once we get to you. All right. Daniel, talk to us.
Yes, so Gibson were trying to paint a picture that the Unity Party and the GMB campaign, the rescue mission, is deliberately refusing to respond to an allegation levied by Mr. Costa. But Mr. Gibson, who is saying this to us, is a journalist, and I respect him for that. But even in the field of journalism, public relations, you should know how to respond to. We know this is a campaign. You don't go about wasting your time, your energy responding to trivial issues. The story by itself, as narrated by Costa, has defeated the purpose of the propaganda. If Mr. Costa had alleged that Joseph Boakai received this 30 million, then there was a reason for us, for the campaign to clarify. But he said Joseph Boakai outrightly rejected the money. That for me has even promoted Ambassador Boakai's image as an integrity icon. And he has even increased the enthusiasm of Liberians to rally around this man. Because who in this war will walk away from $30 million? Who in this war? Some of the people who know cannot even reject $5,000, say they rejected $30 million. So the whole story defeat the purpose of the propaganda. So of course, the campaign is not short of the expertise of sharply responding to anything attempt to denigrate the integrity or the image of Ambassador Boubacar, but we are also mindful as to how we go about responding to issues, because some of these trivialities are meant to distract us from the real issue. I do believe the statement published by Ambassador Boubacar on his Facebook page is the best response I ever got from any political leader. To have said that Costa is his son, he holds no grudge against Costa. He has forgiven Costa for everything Costa said and done to him, and he's willing to work with every well-meaning Liberian. It's the best way to go about it, because the allegation does not incriminate Ambassador Boubacar. The allegation made by Costa clearly promotes him as an integrity czar, and that's why you see the wave of support for him has increased on social media, and that's why you see Mr. Costa himself is being heavily scorned on social media by some of his own supporters. So we don't want to attack Costa. We don't want to go into any war with Costa, because Costa is not a presidential candidate in this election. Okay? So why would you be picking boom with everybody who make allegations? Costa didn't say Ambassador Boubacar took money. No. So if somebody who is listening to me had any doubt about what Costa said, you got no reason to doubt, because Costa didn't say Ambassador Boubacar took money. He said Ambassador Boubacar refused the money. And that refusal, in my mind, is based upon the legal implication that it is illegal to accept such money under Liberian law. And so he's very mindful. He's very mindful.
Thank you, Daniel. Now I'm going to give you time to respond. My dear brother Gibson, talk to us.
I don't want to miss the opportunity to talk about Councillor Gonglo activities. I will deal with that first before I go to.
You got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes, Gibson.
Yeah, I can just use 1 minute. 1 minute on that. Councillor Gonglo is preparing for his My Gibi tour. As you know, he has visited 13 of the 15 counties, the only presidential candidate who has visited more than 400 towns and villages in Liberia. And then Mike, Moserado, he lives in Moserado County, but he also, he works in Moserado and lives in Gibi, but he's trying to make a conscious effort in the coming days to do an engagement. And so we are excited about that. But to just respond, Stanton, look, you are a progressive young man. Don't listen to the Tabata. Let me just tell you something. We are talking about a public figure. Look, let me give you an example. Okay, if Joseph Boubacar does not want to respond, let him deny that there was nothing like that happening. Oh no,
what is he responding to?
No, listen, you are talking, I was not speaking. I want to interrupt him.
I just want to know what he's responding to that.
I just have 2 minutes. I will tell you what he was responding to. A presidential candidate was allegedly receiving 30,000 as a per dime, a ticket bought for him to go to Ghana, a hotel booked for him to sleep in. These are evidence that could be coming up. Those are receipts that could be coming out. So if there's nothing happening at that rate, and nothing happening at that sort, he is on an obligation as a public figure to tell the people there's nothing like that happened. We need to know. It is not about 30,000. It is not about somebody refusing or rejecting 30,000. There's an allegation that he traveled to Ghana. He was given a hotel. He was given a per dime. He was bought a ticket to go to this meeting to receive $30 million. Is it true? Boubacar said, no, that's not true. It's not true. But Boubacar may not say so because he's afraid they will publish receipts in his name. I think that's the only fear that Boubacar will not be able to respond to it. Look, we are young people here, my brother. We are young people. We can talk about.
Gibson, thank you very much. Thank you, Gibson. We'll get back to you. You are making some very strong argument. And I should give this to you. I was seriously speaking that I think the UP folks should come much stronger than that in defending whether just tell the Liberian people. And I'm not going to be judgmental here, but I think you are making a very unique argument today. Do you buy into the argument Gibson is making, Johnny? You are muted, Johnny. Yeah, so okay. Good now. Go ahead.
Okay. Yesterday, when the discussion came about, I told the Liberian people that Dr. Monimba and Madam Grace Kwan are focused on their goal. I mean, but Acosta's statement he made yesterday, press conference he made, this is about him and the UP relationship they had. So he's telling Liberian people what happened in the process, why they broke apart, why he doesn't want to support them anymore. For our end, from the point of Lionel, we think there are more information in the background will be coming up later. And so we want to give it more time to surface. We just think that this is just the tip of the iceberg that Costa is saying. And doesn't really bother us right now. We are concerned about, we have challenges as a party with a young leader in this country. So we try our
Okay.
best to sell Dr. Muniba's vision to Liberian people as opposed to looking at what Costa said. I think this should be between Unity Party and Costa. They should be discussing that issue. The only important thing I saw from there, and that yesterday in our discussion was that I think it was Ambula or someone who raised the issue that, was it Ambula or was it somebody who talked about, the health condition of aspirants? The only issue I would bring right now is, since this issue of health is becoming an issue, and should it be something that the public will be demanding for, that all of the candidates contesting for this position make new the health status to Liberian people. I mean, I'm not saying it's compulsory, but since it's becoming a concern, Costa raised a concern. Yesterday, we raised the same concern. He said some of the candidates have.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Thank you. Let me bring in Daniel. Thank you, Johnny. Daniel, real quick, let me ask you though. Folks are agreeing with Gibson, Daniel. They're agreeing with Gibson that, listen, Gibson making a fair argument. They're asking the question, did JMB travel to Ghana? What was the purpose of the travel within the time frame Costa outlined? Don't you think you owe the Liberian people some form of explanation as to the trip? Did he meet some folks? Did he had a conversation with them about $30 million? Was Costa right? Is Costa right to say, yes, I scheduled a meeting, I bought plane ticket, I had hotel reservation made, everything plus more? Daniel, talk to us.
Stanton, I'm not a spokesperson of the Unity Party. I do work with the rescue team, right? And what I could have said about this issue, I think I've said it as a person who is media friendly and who understands how public relations work on our side of the world. I do not believe that there's anything substantive, like Costa said, that warrant the response of the standard bearer of the rescue mission. If the Unity Party deems it necessary, if anybody has concern as to why Mr. Barker hasn't responded to it, they can confront the Unity Party. But I'm basically saying that this is politics. What the question I'm also asking Gibson is, what is Ambassador Barker going to respond to? What the Costa say? That Ambassador Barker was in Ghana? Of course, Ambassador Barker has gone to Ghana on serious occasions. So he should come up now and tell the public why he was in Ghana all this while. So I do believe that if Mr. Costa had alleged that Ambassador Barker received $30 million from these quote-unquote financiers, from these ghost financiers that are yet to be known, then the campaign was under obligation to respond because something illegal, something grave has been done. But Costa didn't say so. And I think basically what Costa did was to express his emotional outburst over not being chosen by the vice president as a running mate on the rescue mission ticket. That is understandable. So the campaign has got a much more bigger task to execute than to be responding to why Ambassador Barker was in Ghana yesterday, why he didn't come out. If we go respond to why you're in Ghana, then someone say, oh, you respond to the health issue. Of course, Ambassador Barker health issue is a major debate in the election. Even people in opposition are supposed to be working together to remove George Weah now sees his health issue as a way of tearing him down, as a way of telling the public that he's incapable to win the election. He cannot lead his country. There are people who said Ambassador Barker would have died. 2 weeks after he named his running mate. He still health didn't go me. I'm not going to argue on the sentiment of other people who are pushing Ambassador Barker death. So I don't believe that the campaign should even dignify some of the things that Mr. Costa said yesterday. I do believe that we have a whole bigger task. How do we send our message across this country based on the issues right now? Job creation, agriculture, corruption, the insecurity. It's very key. Somebody listening to you want to know how Ambassador Barker will create jobs for young people. as opposed to you demanding that he come on the platform to clarify why he was in Ghana. The moment he does that, someone say, oh, clarify about your health too. Because the very cause I alleged that if Ambassador Baga doesn't go to the United States to do this, the quote-unquote double bypass surgery, he would die in 6 months. So you also want Ambassador Baga to come and respond to that? That is nonsensical. And the campaign will not dignify that. If the party want to respond, they can respond to it, but we will not do that. And I'm good at it. It's good at it. Even the spokesperson of the campaign is regular on the platform. He's going to support what I'm saying. That the moment you start to do that, to respond to every little thing that people say about Joseph Boakai and his health, you open a whole Bendover bus that you wouldn't have control over. Already we have a campaign, and the whole media is being dollarized against the opposition. So the little resources we have, we're going to deploy it.
But Daniel, let me ask you a question. It's good to have Fadika here. This is very important. For me, if I sleep on my left side, I wake up, I get a right side madness. So one day, oh, Daniel left though. I think, Fadika, welcome to the show though. As much as folks responding to the Costa thing, I have a breaking news from the ANC camp I will be revealing shortly. It's very important that we reveal that. When I said that they had a meeting on the 8th of July, you remember I said that yesterday? People say I was lying. We're not hearing you. We're not hearing you, Hussein Fatiga. I wanted the folks to come in and sorry that thank you. Sorry that Richard yesterday. Yeah. I said that there was a meeting here. People said, Stanton, you said meeting here. That's not true. Now the ANC people suspended some of the permanent members. We have the suspension letter. We will be addressing that. The ANC, the party, they have some intended problem that are causing the party not to go anywhere. We have the document. We have the letter that was written. It's right here. We will read the letter. Dear Madam Kazuru, Kula Kazuru is suspended. Mr. Donso, James Donso is suspended. Mr. Giddens, Ezekiel Giddens is suspended. And this letter was written July 10, yesterday.
And why? Why? All right, well,
I'm sharing the letter to you. We'll dig into this thing. It's very disturbing, the reason why they're suspending it. And why are they fighting, ANC folks? I do not want to move the conversation. I'm just telling you guys, we will come to it. But that's a big, big, big wahala, big trouble in ANC. Something the brewing in ANC that are about to scatter the whole ANC. From the American base to the Liberian base, it doesn't look good at all. But let's get back to the thing. Gibson, real quick, before we bring in Fadiga, talk to me real quick. Your argument, 3 people now text me, Gibson. Your argument begin to hold water. As much as people say, oh, Stanton Tulina with JMB, but the Unity Party, they are saying that Unity Party should come up stronger than that statement from the JMB team. Understand, Unity Party is one, and JMB team is another group. I want to give you the chance. They now begin to agree with you that Unity Party should come stronger. Did Jose Yima Boakai travel to Ghana? What was the purpose of him traveling? Who paid for the plane ticket? And who made the hotel reservation? The engagement, who did he meet? Well, I'm not going to say it, but people are saying you are on the right track asking this question. Talk to me.
Absolutely. Stanton, I have no vendetta with JMB, but this particular issue annoys me because the allegation that Costa is making, I've disagreed with Costa a lot of time. And Fadika knows about that. I've been on shows upon shows and condemning his actions. This one is too direct. It's too descriptive. Oh, we gave him $30,000 per dime to go to Ghana. They offer him $30 million. He was giving a hotel. He bought a plane ticket. Too many details that are mentioned here. So it will help JMB. It will help JMB. Even if he wins or doesn't win, this issue continues. It will help him and his propaganda or PR team to know how to approach this by coming up and say, look, my people, let me tell you something. I didn't go to any meeting with Costa. Costa is lying. As far as I'm concerned, I went to a different meeting and Costa is trying to make this out of an issue. Or, look, yes, I went to this meeting. But the reason I went to the meeting, they called me for this reason, And I believe that it was wrong, and I couldn't do it because of the interest of the country. I didn't do it. The other issue, because I need to Stanton need to consider, is the per diem that they gave him, the hotel that they paid for him. They are all campaign contribution. They are foreign campaign contribution. They are violations.
Well, we don't know whether he received. Listen, it's again allegation. I don't want you to be so 100%. Did he receive,
allegation of
but listen,
the allegation
Gibson,
of
listen. Gibson, listen. We should put this thing in as a question. Did he receive those per diem?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did
If
he
the
travel on his
allegation,
ticket? Exactly.
yes.
I just want to
The
listen.
allegation,
First, I agree with you, and we got to be very.
I agree with you.
careful.
You are right. The
Yeah,
allegation
yeah.
of per
Let me
diem,
bring in
the
Al
allegation
Hussein.
of hotel.
Let me bring
the
in
allegation
Joseph
of
Yuma
plane
Bwaka
ticket.
nephew. Let me bring in Joseph Yuma Bwaka nephew. Al Hussein Fadika.
Honestly,
Before we go to Jordan, Fadika. No, hold on 1 minute though. As much as we can sit here and sing kumbaya, Gibson is raising some very important question here. To be transparent with the information.
I disagree. I mean, look,
Make
I
your
said
point,
this
bro.
yesterday, and I will say it today. Gibson Jaru, mind your business. To all of you, mind your business. This is none of your business. Start crying more than a bereaved. Joseph Newman Boyka gave one of the response that an elderly wise man will ever give in his lifetime. He has nothing to prove to this young, confused individual. Costa is behaving like a child, and he should be treated like a child. When your child is throwing tension, you don't go around explaining to the village square who right and who wrong. Let me tell you something. There was one time, a little coming out, there was this little baby. I think one of my mom friend came to visit us, and this guy passed gas and was smelling, and he was ashamed, so he accused one of my little cousins. He said that the little girl passed gas. And the little girl got mad, started crying. Oh, no, man, don't go, you lie on my news. Crying. The girl cried to the point that the man just went and he said, you know what, that me pass gas. Now, how that little girl shut up. Look, Costa can go around showing tension. Joseph Newman Boyka have told this guy that he forgave him. Whoever did what to what, he has nothing to explain. Look, the 30 million story is a spider story. Everybody knows it. Nobody go around giving 30 million.
This is why the people. Hold on. This is why the people respect me. This is why the Liberian people enjoy this program. Because I one day lean left and you don't know where I stand. I want
to say something very important.
Hold on 1 minute now. Hold on 1 minute. It's no. The question. No. But let's go back to Gibson question. That's why we are not scripted. I belong to no one, and then this network belongs to no one but the Liberian people. Gibson, ask your question. Who bought the plane ticket?
Who cares?
Who made the who cares?
No ticket was bought. JMB.
Who made the hotel reservation?
Ask Costa. He made an allegation. Let me tell you my problem. Go ask Costa.
Yeah.
I mean, one small little confused little kid coming around talking. Mind your business. Look, let me tell you my only problem that I have with the Unity Party, and I do not blame the old man. This is my only problem. And this is the only time I'm going to give the ANC and Mr. Alexander Cummings credit. Costa did everything in his power to shake down Mr. Cummings. It never worked. He tried. He went up, high, low, cussing, did everything. Cummings never budged. Now the only thing, who in Liberia do not know Costa now that will let Costa 3 feet near anybody that got bring on their shoulder? The next thing that Costa will start doing, will start showing videos. You start showing all videos. You will start showing all audio, and that is the childiest thing anybody can do. When we reduce.
But you gotta go to Johnny. We gotta go to Johnny. Because, let's folks, Liberians, you will not believe it. Al Hussein Fadiga is the nephew to Joseph Yima Boyka. And I say this because I need to announce it. Johnny, go ahead.
So who am I?
I mean, a matter of fact, I'm also from Lofa and being a Bandi man, so I'm also a nephew to
Good. You see it? That's why you need to mind your business. Do our business. Take your mouth on the old people problem.
But you know what I
Johnny, my brother.
But the problem is, sometimes if you have interest in state power, public service, public work, public attention, then you become somebody on the social stand for review. So if you know, the post said the way you make your bed or how you will lay down on the bed. So sometimes some of the associates you go you put around you, show who you are. So you guys, that's why I keep saying, I don't want to go too much because you see, I want to be careful.
You scared to talk, they don't talk back. So yesterday you say you don't want to go too much.
I don't want to get my own
You scared to talk, then you own spoon talk.
Give me chance.
You're
but
scared
there
to
are a few things here that my brother Gibson brought here. And it requires some attention. Okay, Unity Party, Senator Brother went to Ghana. For what purpose? For what trip?
How many Canadians they going to travel? When Taiwan go to America, they eat there everybody who is into. And we saw you taking pictures with some fake white people.
So nobody accused the man in this case.
What's the problem?
So Fadiga.
But let Johnny finish. Johnny finish. My man, what? Listen, Fadiga, what? Hold on 1 minute, Johnny. Fadiga were doing so good till you came on. Do not disrupt our program, please. I beg you, Johnny finish.
Fadiga, this issue, like I said, is actually
somebody say when you get Al Hassan to come in today.
for you people, I know my young brother Sando and you, Fadiga, you gotta go back, rethink, and show just how to defend this argument. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a concern. People are asking questions. But so they may have said all of these things, but don't they have some elements of truth in it? They may have been a little bit specific.
Jordan, can I ask you one question? Before you go far.
Yeah, Chief.
Costa said a lot of things yesterday. Do you believe it? In your right mind, do you believe it?
So let me ask one question.
Mm-hmm.
If the fish came from the river and said the alligator hair is hurting, what will you believe alligator?
Please don't talk. I won't believe
it. Listen. If the fish came from the water and said the crocodile
I will run because the fish don't
all right, guys. Quick.
Will you
Let me bring in Daniel Sano. I beg you, Johnny. Johnny, your time is up. Your time is up. Daniel Sano, we're going to rest with you because we have information coming from the ANC camp. And also, we want to discuss the meeting that was held today by President George Manneh, when he met the ECOWAS delegations, Jonathan Goodluck and the rest of them. We got to discuss the importance of that. This is geared towards the election. We also want to talk about your party, your affiliate, Unity Party, or your party affiliate, concerning the loafer problem that is happening right now. Galopa Katima. CDC, Unity Party is backtracking. I thought they said Steve Zako under the Liberty Party ticket should have that seat and run for that seat. Are they playing the double game on Steve Zako and Liberty Party? But let's finish this conversation. We got a lot to discuss about, folks. You will enjoy the show tonight. The ANC will be so powerful. We have the letter rating. They had a meeting yesterday again. A meeting 11 a.m. was held yesterday. It's so disturbing. The meeting was headed by Musa Hassan Berete. We will tell you the whole in and out of that meeting. I was there. By way of the chat room, I was there. Daniel Sando, talk to me.
So just to draw the curtain on this concern that Jeru has, and I know for obvious reason, we're not going to play to your playbook. I do believe that JMB has done the best thing any politician would ever do. And here's why I do believe so. Costa said a lot of things yesterday. The public is already helping to respond to Costa by scorning him. And that's the best PR you need. That's the best PR. The public is speaking for GMB. Nobody believes what Costa said.
Nelson Kola, come on the phone. We're going to take a quick 10-minute call because Daniel Sanders said the public is speaking against Costa. Pause. This will be our break. No, my man. This is not Dr. Richardson. No. We will come back to you, Mr. Gibson, Jeru. We'll come back to you. We got to go straight to the phone line. Nelson Kola, come on. 10 calls real quick. Do you believe the Costa story? Do you believe the 30 million story? Then we'll move to our next conversation. While we're taking calls, if you guys want to take a break, you want to drink some water, you want to smoke some weed, you go ahead because I know somebody here. I'm just kidding. Come on.
I'm Jamaica.
Nelson, come on. Come on, Nelson. 10 calls real quick. The question is, do you believe the Henry Costa story? We want to lay this thing to rest. Talk to us. Put up the number, international line and the local line. We want to hear from you. Do you believe the Henry Costa 30 million story? Yes or no? Real quick.
Okay, folks, we're taking 10 calls. We move to the lines to take the first one. So the numbers on the screen there are the hotlines. So just for you in radio lane, you can call 0777 or 0555 We take this person. Hello. Good evening. Please be audible a bit. Go ahead. You're live.
Good evening, Steve.
Yes, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, the name is Prince B. Moses, and I'm from Kakata. I'm the ANC district coordinator of Mangibi.
Okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
say this better. You know, it is often said that only catfish can come from under the water to tell you that prayer here is heavy and you believe it.
Okay.
Listen, Costa was the closest friend, even in America, in Ghana, even in Liberia.
Thank you.
Costa was the closest friend to President Bwaka, about President Bwaka. So anything he tells you, I want us to consider it.
Thank you.
True and nothing else but the truth. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. Hello, you live.
Yeah, how you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
My name is Abraham Hina Koli, and I call from Bomi, Clay District.
Go ahead, Hina.
You know, Costa, this is the most unpopular decision you have ever taken in your political life. And this is the end of your political career. You check social media now, there is a slogan there, we agree. Anything Costa say we agree, but because that is not our focus. Our focus is to rescue this nation.
All right, let me take this one real quick. My friend, your name and where you calling from?
I'm Barry. I'm calling from New York.
Make your point real quick. Do you believe the Costa story?
My point is that's the scam from the opposition, man. That's the big scam. You know, the public are very smart, you know. That's the big scam, you know.
Thank you very much, Barry. Thank you very much. Again, the phone number is up. You can make a point. We're going to take but 10 calls. We got 7 to go. Go ahead, Nelson.
Okay. Hello, you live.
Yes. Good evening, Nelson. Good evening to Sano. Good evening to...
Yeah, go ahead. Cooper, we lost you there. Hello?
Yeah, how are you?
Let's go ahead. You're live. Okay, go ahead quickly, Prince.
And I think all the time, Costa has survived a line of people who are killing the nation intelligently. I think that party in 2017, and this time around, we are very clear to Costa that particular behavior.
Thank you.
That's about this time around.
Thank you.
Same deal that we are next president.
Thank you very much. Let's go. Be fast. We got a lot of story coming up tonight.
Yeah, you're not calling for Motokola Brazil.
Okay, let's hear you, madam.
And because at this point, they said, yeah, you said, but I will take you. Somebody go, Ghana. That kind of money, that money to them, but I refuse.
Do you believe the story or not?
Really, all these people, it's a big liar. I used to support him, but from today's day, he's there.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, nothing. Good evening to Sando, good evening to CEO, good evening to Gibson, and going to people following the radio live. My name is Cooper Patrick, and I spoke this TV from District 11.
Okay, let's hear you.
Yesterday, Costa tried to bring himself to public ridicule by lying that one funny presentation somewhere get 30 million to give him. He rejected it. He asked the person to give it to Ambassador Bwaka. He just told to the world that Ambassador Bwaka is exactly argo because he passed around taking money from people in the name of politics.
Okay.
So he just proved to the world that Ambassador Bwaka is a rubber president of government. So
thank you very much.
After you say that we are moving ahead with this tweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Cooper Passaway. Hello?
Hello?
Good evening, you live.
How are you? I'm Ayuba Esther calling from Presque.
Ayuba, let's hear you.
My brother, let me tell you, I don't like to hear. I don't know why we will get Costa relevant. But it's not an issue. The issue now on the Bwakai, how to rescue the nation. How to educate that bread today, my brother, and see the quality of Liberian. Under no condition, he will respect Costa. I will discuss it.
Thank you.
We'll discuss it on the Bwakai.
Thank you. Hello?
I got one here very quick, Nelson.
Okay, yeah, then let's
go ahead. Go ahead, my friend. Your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Minnesota. Costa is lying. He can talk him down the church on this. He's a guy is the next person.
Thank you. Go ahead, Nelson.
We take this person. Go ahead.
Hello, Nelson.
Yeah, go ahead. You live.
Thank you. I'd like to say good evening to all the panelists, including the waterfall. My name is Charles Ramos, and I'm from Monrovia. And one of the previous caller just said, for you to even tell the public that Ambassador Baga rejected the million, and he also said, knowing very well that Ambassador Baga and the Unity Party are struggling for campaign money, but yet refuse 30 million that is of course I'm not really sure.
Charles, you believe the main story or not?
But what I'm saying, who are the gamers? Who believe the story of?
Thank you very much. Let's move on. I got another one here. My friend, your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you, Charles.
Kentucky.
Talk to us. Do you believe the Costa story?
Costa should go and fancy to sit down. Nobody will give $30 million or $3 million for you. We say,
Thank you. Go ahead. Let's take more calls. Once we get Fadika back, we'll move to the next conversation. This is important, my fellow Liberians. Do you believe? Hold on 1 minute, Nelson. Hold on 1 minute. Do you believe the Henry Costa story? Any part of the story, do you believe it? Including the $30 million others?
Okay, so we take this person. Hello.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Yeah, go ahead. You live. Your line is not good. Hello. Okay, let's take this person. Hello. Hello. Yes, go ahead. You live.
I'm gonna take another call. The man line is bad. We gotta go.
Hello.
Good evening, Nelson, and good evening to the Spoon family. My name is Nyawe Pia Abraham Tama. I joined them electoral district to Johnsonville.
Tama, go ahead quickly.
And to even think of believing that story, it just means that you are a liar directly. So just think of it. Imagine the entire press conference has turned into a comedy show. The entire Facebook is in
We have another one here. We have another one, my friend. Thank you very much, my friend. We gotta be fast because the line is crazy. Your name and where you calling from, my friend?
I know. This is James A. Colley. I'm calling you from Mambakle community. I'm monitoring you, CEO. Look, it's just an added value to the campaign team, and I can tell you, it's far from the truth. Costa has to be, I don't even know how to put it. So, I mean, I don't think we should even give relevance to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carter. Thank you very much. Thank you. Go ahead. Let's take a call. Put the national issue down. Let's take a call.
Okay, hello, you live.
Yeah, I think on my team, and this is the voice of the ANC deputy coordinator of my team.
Go ahead, please, sir.
I'm calling.
Thank you.
Trust me, there are more to.
Thank you.
The ANC Mensa calling.
So I have another person here real quick. Nelson, you just got to be straight to the question. The line is crazy because we got but another.
Calling.
Go ahead, my friend. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Steven Cotter, and I'm calling you from Delaware, Newcastle this evening. Costa is a 419 and PM.
Thank you very much, my friend. Let's move. Let's bring in Ojuku. Ojuku, my brother, you are calling from. Talk to us.
I just want us to be mindful as to what we say concerning the story, because our countries are being real when we with somebody or knowing that this person is who we support. We said to believe that there's the father.
Do you believe the story?
But do you believe? So Ojuku, do you believe the Costa story? Ojuku, let's take it easy now. I will give you enough time. Do you believe, just yes or no, do you believe the Costa story, sir?
Now you made relationship. What relationship?
Thank you, Ojugu. Thank you, Ojugu. Let's take more calls.
I got one call here. I got Moses Sandy on the phone.
Bring in Moses. Bring in Moses. We got to hear from the people from Liberia, Nelson.
Yeah. Thank you, Alpha. Thank you, Senator. I think, like I said last night with the issue of ANC, we should not waste our time. The Liberian people deserve.
No, the topic right now is: do you believe the Costa story? All right.
I'm coming there. Herod Costa should not be taken serious by any Liberian. Herod Costa, there's a man who used to speak against Manaseli. He's on tape for $10,000. He compromised his interest for $10,000. With this man, look at.
So we don't have enough time, my brother James Sandy. Do you believe that story?
It doesn't make sense.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Let's move on.
Thank you. Let's go back. Take 5 more calls.
Okay, so we'll take your first question. Hello?
Take 5 more calls.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead. You live.
My name is Wilmot Jala. I come from FBA community.
Let's hear you, Jala. Do you believe the story or not?
Nothing. You get no sense inside.
Okay, thank you.
Black liar.
Thank you very much. Hello? Oh, we lost this person.
Ashim for Costa said.
Hello.
Yes, you're live.
I'm calling from Scarborough, Liberia.
You believe the story or not?
I certainly don't believe Costa. Costa has been an epitome of life in Liberia.
Thank
Not
you.
someone to talk.
Thank you. Hello?
Hello, Nelson.
Okay, go ahead. You live.
My name is Asa Jefferson Monva. I call you from the King of Village community and the Executive Secretary to Private Setup and Professional for Waka.
Do you believe the story or not?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Hello? Hello? You live.
Folks,
go ahead.
Take the last call. We will come back to the phone line. Break time is over. Take the last call, please.
Okay, go ahead. You live.
Yeah, okay, look, this is Andrew. James Andrew. I call you from Monrovia.
Okay, go ahead.
Pathological liar, and she never be taken seriously anywhere around anybody.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much from your end, Nelson. Let me bring in the last person from the international line. My friend, your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Willie Kamara calling from Australia.
Australia, Willie, talk to us.
I think he's a bloody liar. He made that up.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
I have one caller on the line here. I have one caller on the line.
Usually we'll take that one from you.
I have one caller on
did
the
that
line.
for Al Hussein. Go ahead, Mr. Gibson, Jeru. Bring your
Yeah,
caller
go
in.
ahead. This is Hans Willems. Go ahead, Willems. Hans.
We'll come back to Hans. Maybe hang up. Let's move on. So, folks, Nelson, thank you very much. We'll go to the phone line again. We'll call on to you. You heard from the people. 10 seconds real quick. Johnny, we start from you, Johnny. What do you make of the callers? We're not hearing Johnny, Nelson. We are not hearing Johnny. Let me bring in Gibson. Gibson, what do you make of the callers?
Actually, it was a misdirected question. The question was not if you believe 30,000. I told you the 30,000 is not an issue. What the issue is, whether...
No. You're trying to do this and not do it. I said, do you believe Costa's story? I didn't say, do you believe 30 million?
Well,
you talking about 30,000 and said 30 million and you said 30,000. I said, do you believe Costa's story? It was the question. Don't say it was misdirected.
That is an ambiguous question.
How will you ask the question? Do you believe Costa's story?
No.
Why is Gifty shifting the pause in the middle of the game?
The man acting like he let you get his space here.
You are but be fair.
So let me come in now. Let me come in.
Listen,
are you
Let's go to Johnny.
Let me respond.
Let me come on.
Today we got Philly United Party prayer.
So guys, hold on 1 minute.
Yeah, ask the question. Let me respond.
Gibson, hold on now.
The question you asked. Let me tell you why I said it's misdirected.
No, but I want to correct you first. My question was.
I'll tell you why it's misdirected. How you correct me?
Everybody understood the question and answer the question. How the man say misdirected? You ask your own question.
Are you Stanton?
No, but the thing was clear.
But they asked me question. They said Fadika. Why are you and Daniel? Why are you fighting me? Okay, let me tell you something.
Let me go ahead and make a point before you waste our time.
The question will have been, do you think JMB should respond to the Ghana story? That was should have been a question. The Costa story, there are so many things that Costa said.
Like the guy older than me, I'm going to kick you out of this show. Who do you older than me now? For real. I ask my own question. The message, no, ask a question like this. What?
Stand on. If you say the Costa story right, you know how many people say no? How many people say no?
That's a great question.
Okay, that's your question. No problem. If that is your question, that's fine. But let me just make a 30-second comment. Look, like I said earlier, look, these we are the people that make dictators. We fight people who ask legitimate questions about our leaders, and we impress the leaders to behave defiant. This is why we develop dictators in our communities. It is so easy if Joseph Boyka or his public relation team who respond and say, no, this is not true, this is what happened, the public will be at ease and we will understand. But this is developing dictatorship. And tomorrow when Joseph Boyka became president and he refused to respond to our question, then we say, oh, they may not answer to nobody's question. The sitting judge we are doing today. We are developing a dictator. Let's stop that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Johnny. No, we got to go to Johnny. I like Gibson. Gibson, Johnny, go ahead. Talk to us.
Okay, so I did a small table of what we're doing here. So the question was, do you believe in what Questor said? And overall, we received 18 calls. Out of 18 calls, we have 5 international calls and we have 13 local calls. The 5 international calls said they don't believe what Questor said. And out of the 13 calls locally, 11 said they don't believe it, and 2 said they believe it. So at Wembley, the call said they believe, and that they don't believe what Costa says. So we have 5 international they don't believe, we have 11 local they don't believe, and we have 2 locals that believe it. So that's what report says. So let's discuss it.
Wow, you see, let me say something to you, Johnny. We're going to keep you at the dental man on the show now. I didn't know that. I wasn't keeping track of the quarters, but I said thank you. Hussein, 13 from Liberia. You said 13 from Liberia, right?
Yeah.
11.
Yeah. International, but only 2 saying they believe. So therefore, 5 plus 13 are 18. You have 16 people overwhelmingly saying we do not believe Heron Costa's story. Talk to me. That's interesting.
It's a spider story. I don't know why Gacy is keep pushing the goalpost. The thing here is they're trying to find something. They're looking for a got you moment. And look, part of PR strategy is to not give a story leg. And this is PR 101. Sometimes you can elevate a story by giving it credence. Ambassador Boyka, if you have you put it up yesterday, he gave a 1 or 2 paragraph respond. My son, I forgive you. If that is not the most powerful message anybody can give for this kind of a chatty story, then why? Why do you want to say, oh, you know what? Me and Costa, when we were in Karabasi in Ghana, in one other hole, we said that that's too much detail, unnecessary detail. Who cares? That's why I say, mind your business. It's none of your business. If you have killed someone, if you have violated any laws, then you say, oh yeah, we'll question his morality. Not one little a crooked little child that got up one morning and tried to throw tantrum that will give credence to. Come on, man. Costa cannot even be the common pastor in one little district that the man will elevate. He jumped outside the way he calls to say he presidential material that will make vice president. You think how to get 2 vice president? You been a little gangster or what causing people, oh, well, one morning you got up, you say, I transform myself. I told you, say, I will go to Liberia. I mean, the shared childishness. So, Ambassador Boyka, I mean,
but why Gibson go ahead? Gibson, stop laughing.
He run away.
Gibson laughing. Why you laughing, man? It's not fair, Gibson.
He run away. Because the thing there is, why he wants to happen, he want to give this story leg so that we can keep dragging this thing, and keep it in the news. Casey is a journalist. He know what kind of story they can pour on Monday. He know what kind of story they can pour on Friday to bury it. That's a PR 101 he knows. And he want to give the thing leg because when he give it leg, then we'll stop talking about our man and then he broom and sweeper will be passing around. And that will not happen. You know? So we are doing what we are doing. The PR strategy is you do not give credence to this $30 million nonsense. We are moving forward. for that challenge thing, go ask Costa. If you need answer, the Liberian people that matter, that will be voting, the people that he was trying to dissuade, have said overwhelmingly that they do not believe or they like on a Costa. So who are we?
So that is Sandra, though. That I'm going to end with you. You are from the sister camp of a Unity Party. Out of 18, only 2 say we believe Costa. 16 say no. How does that make you feel, Daniel?
And interestingly, the 2 calls that said they believe Costa, they got called from Kakatan 2 times.
The ANC man.
He introduced himself and he said he believed Costa. So if you see the trend on social media, only our ANC friends said they believe Costa and they're running with what Costa said. So for them, we look, one good thing we've done for ourselves is to put the ANC in a category where they belong. They are now on a lonely island. Nobody has time for them. And they are the one knocking on JMB door every day, hoping that we'll give them attention. We're not going to give them attention. So if they like, they can drag this thing. They can even build monument for Costa before Mr. Cummings, compound on 15th Street. It'll be okay for him. But what I can say to the approval from the callers, and it was important I made that point, that if you open the lines, what the caller will say is exactly what we have done. What we see here is to always act in conformity with public approval. The public, as far as the views expressed by the caller, approve and agree what JMB is doing, what the campaign is doing. That we're not going to give any formal response to Mr. Costa. What Mr. Costa did yesterday was to score an own goal. He scored an own goal that has significantly diminished his standing in Liberian politics. It's going to take Mr. Costa forever to come back, because that press conference will help with the hope that I'm going to diminish Joseph Boaka. I'm going to open a Bandora box that will compel him to respond to the things that I will say. Later, the Costa know that he was indicting himself. He was self-incriminating himself. Now he has more questions to answer to the public. Who gave you, who offered you the $30 million? If Costa can answer that question, then we are making progress. Not JMB, they won't say, "Book $30 million." Costa, they won't say it. So the public has confirmed our position. They have validated our stance, and we are not going to give any formal response to it other than discussing on the platform as regular panelists. The campaign has got more important things to do. The campaign has got more important things to do. We have a government that is so ruthless.
Thank you, Daniel.
Not underestimate the capacity to break an election.
Mr. Sando, thank you very much.
More focus on the technical aspect, and that's what we're doing.
Thank you very much. I will announce that we'll be breaking this thing about that Ghana trip. I'm in communication with someone who knows the entire story. When the plane left Liberia, who were on the plane? Who arrived in Ghana with JMB? Who did they meet? Were they Russian? Were they Ghanaians? Were they Liberians? Who are those that went for that first meeting? Who Costa talking about that offered him $30 million? We are wrapping this thing up, and we're going to bring that entire story to you shortly this week. We getting information about the key players. We understand when the news first broke that 3DIU were present and other folks. We're going to bring you all the story this week. Stay tuned. Let's work on our sister, Mape Gono, and I call her Kou. Welcome to the Spoon Talk, man. How you doing?
Thank you, boss man. How all of you doing? It's good to be here. Daniel Sano, we missed your energy yesterday. I'm happy to see you firing. I Hassan was firing in your absence. The guy was firing. But I'm happy to see you, Big Brother Gibson, and Johnny, of course. It's a good thing to see you. You bring peace, so much peace to the discourse, Johnny. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Let's just real quick before I forget, Mr. Gibson posted in our chat room. He was asking for your cell phone number. So
yes,
if you like, If you like, you can tell him whether you want to give it to him. I'm not going to be part of
Yeah,
it.
sure,
You
but I
can.
don't.
Why are you trying to put him in a situation you can't handle?
No, man, the man texting me for the woman cell phone number. Like, they going to link them. The man said that his sister. Then he
Yes.
texted me for your own sister number. I
The
don't be
man,
calling that
the
thing.
man told you, he tell you I a sister, or he told you his wife is from Nimba.
No, the man said no.
Now we understand. Now we understand.
No. I have to say this today. The man last time he kept on
I saw the text from
embarrassing me.
I saw
He kept on texting me. He kept on calling me. Since I really need to talk to Gono, but send me her number. I said I wouldn't do no such thing. I do not, I do not engage men and women with cell phone business. No. I think you said that your sister called. So man, I make the announcement, open it. Your woman will give you her number. That your own sister, you said, ask her now. We're waiting for you. Ask her. Let's see what she will say.
I don't know.
I already sent her an inbox to send me her number, and there's a reason why I want it. And
I will ask you for the reason. That is so. In all public forum, ask the woman. I said, please give me your phone number and let Joey kill you. Ask the woman.
You don't even know how to pronounce her name. It's Mepe. Mepe, please send me your number.
I will. I can put it where it says chat with everyone in the studio.
Yeah, private chat. Put it in private chat. Let it make me happy. I mean, guess you're not calling me again. I had to do my own thing. This is spoon talk. But seriously, Mepe, we call 18 people call. 18. Yeah. 16 of the 18 people say they don't believe Costa's story. I want to bring you in. Then we'll jump into the ANC letter we received today to discuss ANC. Then we'll discuss about John Balu, why Jose Yima Bwaka selected John Balu II. We got to wrap this thing up by 6:30. So talk to me, Gano.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I wish we do what the standard bearer said and what Brother Daniel Sano reiterated, to focus on the bigger picture and not let this distraction take us away from the gains we are making. Even though there are still some people who feel that there are things we need to talk about because those were grave allegations. But again, I don't like to be hungry and be talking about BB money. You know, my friends from Basel, I have a lot of friends from Basel. I love them. Good people. The Basel people have a common parable. They say the man I will carry you in America, you will know from your shoe. Look at your shoe. We're talking
what should say?
You will be the next president of the country. The man I will carry you in America, look at your shoe. All the 30 million story lives have not changed. And we'll come and sit here and distract from the things we need to be discussing in terms of the government that has failed us. And we're discussing some play light that people put together and say, let's manipulate the process. I do believe something. I'm not 100% sure. And to Mr. Costa's benefit, I'm not 100% sure that he willingly and knowingly made a story up, to coerce Omen Boyka to carry him on the ticket. But what I do know is that he was played. I know people were played. I know that it's possible someone met him in 309. I give that story credit. But if that story is true, it means that there were political players who instigated this thing. And if at the end, the old man was not moved based on that amount or what Mr. Costa had done for him in the past, and he was still able to go and look at the political variables to choose his running mate, then, like I said, we should not be worried about who are those that are supporting him today or who those that decide to vote for him, because it means that when he becomes president, he's going to be ruling the country, he's going to be governing by principles, not just because you supported me. Or Hussein used to be on the show talking, he causing trouble in time. They let the man continue. That man used to praise me, man. He used to be on spoon praising me. No. That's not the kind of leader we have. Daniel Sano will not just do anything and say, but everybody know me. Daniel Sano, I will only play praising the old man. So, that is some credit, to him, that he was able to get past this in a wise manner. Yes, The young man talk about people in the UP who might have been resentful. Those things are very common with political plays. Anywhere you have political power, there will be people who fighting key people.
Thank you.
Of course, he's a gifted young man. They saw him speaking and doing things.
Thank you. But my question to you, I understand everything, and indeed you want to play is safe. That's fine. We respect that. But out of 18,
all right.
16 said,
What you saying? Out of 18 persons, 16 quarters did not believe it. Stanton, what do you want me to say? The story is not believable. 30 million. That's why I said the pastor people say the man I will carry you America. Look at your shoe. 30
okay.
million.
So let me bring in Dr. Richardson. It's good to have you back, Dr. Richardson. Thank you again for returning. Dr. Richardson, we just took a break.
We're not transitional center.
We are, but I gotta get Dr. Richardson 2 cents on this one. We just took a break and 18 cards were played. They didn't believe the story, Dr. Richardson. Talk to me.
I have one question.
I beg you, let Dr. Richardson speak, then we'll move on, please.
So there's parts of the story that tend to be fictional, and there's also parts of the story that, that is a repeated practice of the JNB and Henry Custer. For example, the $300 million is not quite believable, but there's other personality things, there's other behavior practices that we have heard that JNB have manifested that seems believable. Like, for example, people have said, Ellen has said, Americana has said that he had a book of that where he chronicled 16 grudges of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. And to me, that is somebody who, tend to be very paranoid of people. I said this yesterday. He also has difficulty trusting others. Like, Costa said he didn't trust him. He thought that he wanted to kill him when he wanted to come here for medical work. There's also this instigator. I would throw the spoon and hide my hand. We saw this in the delivery about the meeting with Uri. He said, Uri, go ahead, file the course against. I'm sorry, I'm hearing background noise. Is that me? Okay. Like he said, go ahead, file the court case against Mr. Cummings. But I don't want to be in the front. I want to be in the background. So there's this kind of pattern of instigator manipulation, distrust for people, and also, I said manipulation, paranoia. So for me, they all kind of fits into when I think about a leader, what I expect out of a leader, and those are not qualities I expect when I think about a leader. And I think that the qualities that I told you, the characteristics that I just shared with you, those are characteristics that are very close to what we have characteristic, the whole idea of being manipulative, not speaking, cutting out speech from people, only speaking when he's in the pulpit. Those are things that actually hamper a government. It prevents a government from functioning because if you don't look for competency, but you're looking for who like you and who you're speaking to today, that can definitely derail, and don't look for the best in a government. So that's kind of what I have to say about that. I kind of was looking at some themes of the behavior that was presented by whether it's true or not.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson, and we appreciate your time. Folks, we got to spin. We don't have any
I have a
time.
question, please. I have a question.
It's 6 o'clock, guys.
Can I make an appeal? I will be leaving the show. Sorry, I had a meeting with Honorable Dylan. I just got a message, but I would just like to speak quickly. So if I have to
meet with Honorable Dylan, and you just got a message.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting
that's okay.
old. I forget quite.
Go talk to Honorable Dylan.
Well, let me just say something quick. My esteemed sister, Dr. Francine, I do not know the dichotomy. I don't understand what you are comparing here. You came from talking about we are not speaking to people to things that were said about JMB when someone said he believed that I could have killed him because people told him that. I don't get it yet. We have to be fair and do justice, not just because we are in opposition and we feel that this story presented by this young man helps us. You were talking about, and let me say for the record, I don't know anywhere that Amara Conan said that Joe Boyka got broke with Grush in it, because for the record, Amara Conan will never say something like that. He's a personal friend, he's a boss, and he will never say something like that. And I beg to differ, and I challenge that information.
Thank you very much. Dr. Richardson, you want to respond?
We must, let me explain now.
No, but
then you said she should respond. That's not in case of dialogue.
You gotta go, so go. Leave our show alone. You gotta
give me a
go.
little chance. She putting the main record, American record, on the line, and this is not true. But let me come to this. JMB is not that type of leader. He's a humble leader. And when somebody is concerned when information is given them, it's not a bad thing. And the fight that you talk about, we shouldn't be saying, oh, people say this about a person, or somebody say the person that's a behavior pattern. You're a psychologist, that's not how you establish behavior pattern.
Okay, so
we are
not forcing.
So I just want you to know that
have a perfect exchange.
Our leader is not the person being presented to the public. The colors by their thinking. You have 18 colors, 16 people disagree with that story. They say it looks like a fiction, it looks like it's impossible, it happens in utopia. No one has 30 million to present to someone on the variables. No one will refuse that among the men I carry you in America. You look at a shoe, you will know if things don't.
Thank you very much, man. We gotta go. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's what
let me just say this. Let me just say this.
No, Daniel, hold on 1 minute. I beg you, Mempe. I think you are leaving, right?
So, no, that the other people go here. You say private, I'm on here private chat.
Yeah, Mempe. What are you talking about? To give your number to Gibson?
Yeah.
Okay, you want me to give it to him? I give it to him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let Dr. Richardson respond. Dr. Richardson got to respond.
If she can meet with Dylan, why she can meet with me too?
You got different intention. Dr. Richardson respond, please.
I have moments to reflect.
Can I say something for Dr. Richardson to respond?
No, man, you and your sister can't come together by way by. Let a woman.
I just want to say something before she responds. Maybe she can combine all two.
No,
I have one question.
Remember, stop now. Dr. Richardson, please respond.
One question. 30 seconds.
No, guys, stop, please. I beg you. Dr. Richardson, please respond.
Richardson said she don't need to respond. Why are you forcing her?
No, I didn't say that. I actually never said that. Okay.
Dr. Richardson, you like to speak? Please speak. I beg you.
What Costa had to say, and basically to kind of listen and analyze what he said about the former vice president Boyka. And when I actually, there's description of trust issues. Okay, when you are working with someone for a very long time, and you, according to Costa, says, well, I can't come to do my surgery, a very important surgery, because I'm afraid that you have arranged for doctors to harm me. That's trust issue.
And so you believe it, or you saying?
Stop, Mepe. Only one moderator, Mepe. Wait for your time. You moderate on Sunday evening.
And then it's the issue of being indecisive, as I spoke about yesterday. Whether he wants to have Costa as his son, or whether he wants to dance with the devil. According to Costa, they went to a meeting where he was saying, well, I would do anything to be president of Liberia, including dancing with the devil. That's very self-centered.
All right, Dr. Richardson, thank you very much. Mepe, thank you. We got to flip. Daniel, I will hold you there. Daniel, I need 30 seconds. Daniel, I will hold you there. Daniel, Sando, go drink some pepper soup, man. You're not feeling well, but I will hold you there. I beg you, back. I beg you. Let's move on. It's very
Daniel, let's agree.
One word, okay?
Yes,
Mepe said that she didn't understand what I was saying. I was actually trying to make an analogy.
It's okay. What you're saying, they're not in line logically. We don't have to go back and forth on that.
Mepe, that's okay. Let the doctor speak. Mepe Gono, let the doctor speak. I beg you, please. Dr. Richardson, go ahead.
I would just have to respond when she's.
If you are given the time,
You gotta be fair, yeah, man. Y'all gotta be fair on this
the private chat room open. Put your number there for Gibson.
You know, I'm
ahead,
not in the business of attacking people. I've never done that on this show, but I see, you know, once people don't deal with things intellectually, the first thing they go
we
to
just need facts.
Mepe, can you stop interrupting? Mepe, you have your time. Stop interrupting, please.
Cento, I have a submission to make. Cento, you gotta give me 30 seconds.
I will, Daniel. I will.
It doesn't sound logical to you. I'm making an analogy between the behavior that we see between which is the manipulation, the distrust, the paranoia, the inability to keep friends around. This is exactly we see Joe Bucker with different friends, different groups every time. I can tell you over the past couple of times, you are friends with Costa. Then he went to be friends with some other group. Now we don't see that anymore. We see that with other group.
Mepe, please, we don't want to do this. Let them have some decorum on the show, please.
Is a good friend of, is a dad to my brother, and so you don't know some of the details that I know, and I'm trying not to.
Your brother, let you have the details.
No, I'm not going to do that. You are not.
Mepe, I beg you, please.
You're not going to make me do that.
We're not going to be back and forth on this.
Respect. Maybe you don't, but I do. Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Let me bring you in, Daniel. Your 30 seconds, because we got to move on now.
But I wanted to say something. Daniel, time you give my time.
When I listen to Daniel Richardson saying that she believed one side of Costa's story and she didn't believe the other side, then I think she wanna pick a fruit from the personal tree and ask the public to believe it. It is wrong. That manner of reasoning is very important. You say you don't believe the 30 million part of the story, but I believe the other part when he said the one. Let me say this, right? I know there's the only platform that y'all have got to try to put Mr. Cummings on par with Baga, but it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. You got to let me say this to you. Anybody who is listening to you would just believe that you want to pick Akome Bwaka. Talking about he changing friends every election. Go and ask Mr. Cummings where his former vice running made the last election is. He's now in Mr. Bwaka corner.
Nuku is now with CDC.
Dr. Richardson, can we give him, Dr. Richardson, can we give Daniel his 30 seconds, please?
Mr. Sanu,
where is Solonte?
Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson, guys, I don't want to mute people. I'm begging you.
That has to demonstrate.
I haven't said anything.
Another part. There's a part of the podcast. So
Dr. Richardson,
it's not a black and white issue like you're trying to make it seem like.
But so Dr. Richardson, let's have some order. Listen, Mepe, listen. We have another thing on this stream here that we can mute anyone and you cannot unmute yourself. I do not want to be disrespectful. But for the sake of our audience, let's have our time to speak. Daniel, you have the flow. Can you please use your 30 seconds?
Thank you, Stanton. And I want to say, for the sake of the sanctity of this platform, such manner of reasoning is very important. I want to be very clear that when Dr. Richardson talk about the pattern of behavior and everything, and it is also wrong to say that Ambassador Baga has any pattern of behavior, because we do have information on certain pattern of lifestyle of Mr. Cummings, which we don't want to talk about yet. So we just have to be mindful of what we say. Like I said, I know there's the only opportunity that ANC people have got to try unsuccessfully to put Mr. Cummings on par with Bwaka, which is now working. From all indication, the people do not want Mr. Cummings. And this thing about trying to throw dirt on Joseph Bwaka every time, Costa has made allegations. The only people we see trying to glorify Costa apart from the ANC, and that's why we said from the beginning of the conversation that we do not intend to learn any.
Thank you very much, Daniel. We're gonna have some order here because we got 3 topics to cover. I will bring in my brother Eugene Lamid Fagon. It's good that you joining us, Eugene. I know you've been busy all day, but thank you. We're going to run straight to the next story. It is important. We got 3 other very important stories. We got to end this show by 6:30 and start taking phone call. Say what you want to say on it, and we move on. 1, the next story. Is this true? I'm going to go back to the Unity Party folks. Say your piece. Is this true? Unity Party has.
But why I can't have the final saying? I just come here by talking.
You will have your time, my brother. Please let me read this. I'm trying to bring in everything real quick. Unity Party has betrayed Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence again. The party has clandestinely registered Mr. Galipa Kotuman as independent candidate after it was agreed that Senator Steve Zago would be the face of the party in Lofa. The entire Unity Party charged with is on fire, blank, blank, blank. My question to you and Mepa Gondo, is it true?
I won't let my bet thought. How can a party register somebody as independent?
Can I go first quick on that matter? You know,
How can a
it's
party
very
register somebody
laughable.
as independent?
But again, we open for discussion. Let's give one person a chance to speak. Mepa, you go
How
first.
can a party
All right,
register somebody
Stanton,
as independent?
it's okay, Eugene, but Stanton, this again is a very laughable matter. We see this pattern in political elections. Whenever people really want to run for public office and they are denied or they do not win the primaries, most time because of the investment they have made in the process, they will run as independent candidates. Party cannot register someone. Cottyman knows a lot of people in the UP. He might be influential. He may have sympathy from them. He may go to register. It doesn't mean the party endorses it. We saw the same thing happen in
They
Nima.
use the word clandestinely.
That's politics. You see in Nima.
Let me move to Daniel Sando. Thank you very much, my friend. Daniel, talk to me. You are affiliating with Unity Party. Talk to me.
Stand up. For the most part, I do believe that this platform is well elevated. The young man who posted that thing on Facebook is a clown. I'm sure you don't know him, but he's always clowning on social media. So for us,
I'm not only posting this thing because he's a clown. I'm posting it because I'm hearing it myself. People are saying it. So it's not about him, though.
Yeah, no, but you see a post to generate talking
points. Because he confirming what I'm hearing.
That being said, there's no truth in what he posted.
Okay, let me bring in Al Hussein. Al Hussein, to that story, my brother.
The whole thing here is everybody looking for Gachu movement. We have no way to prove it. So I won't give credence to this kind of story, honestly. Anybody can pop up one morning and post anything on
It's running as an independent.
He was here the other time. He
is running as an independent. I can confirm to you that he is
running as an independent, but was it the Unity Party? Nobody got control over anybody.
Thank you very much, Gibson, Jerry, and we'll go to our brother, Honorable Fagon. Gibson, something strange about this story. And these three Unity Party folks, they are confusing me. Talk to me.
First of all, it's becoming a pattern of the Unity Party's behavior to
you
show
get a million number, so don't shake your head.
to show less leadership. I personally feel that JMB leadership is problematic. That issue is issue that he could handle easily, and he has failed to handle that. Because the agreement was made that Liberty Party will have the slot, and Kotima is still trying to go out there and disregard the Unity Party and JMB. It shows leadership problem. Simple.
Thank you. Let me bring in Johnny. Guys, we got to be quick on this one. Johnny, before we go to Fago and Dr. Richardson will take us home on this. Johnny.
So Stanton and the rest of the guys, this is Lofa kind of issue. I'm a Lofian sitting here. There are things here I will not say, to be very clear with everybody here. We are from Lofa. Omen Boka is from Lofa. Kutime is from Lofa. Zago is from Lofa. I'm from Lofa. Whatever is happening in the UP with regards to Lofa County is being handled in Lofa County. So whatever you guys say here about Unity Party, I will not say anything because I know the advantage I have from Lino in Lofa on this matter. And like I said, you guys have everything stuck in your Tradevco and Chase Martin Bank. For us, Lano, we are crawling and picking the pieces along the line as you guys are doing what you guys are doing. I know very well what's happening, but I won't say anything here because I know what we are doing to get ourselves entrenched in Lofa County. So
Thank you.
Let me not talk much about that.
Thank you, Honorable Fagon. Your take on this story.
Thank you, Mr. Witherspoon. Good evening to all. This platform, we did not give our sweat and blood for us to be elevating stupidity here. A man goes and writes. Listen to what he says. The Unity Party has betrayed Senator Nyombi Kanga Lawrence again. The party has clandestinely registered Mr. Galama Kotima. Two things there. The party will register her partisan on the ticket. The party has clandestinely, the registration is being done at the SKD Spoke Complex. You don't register. Okay? So this platform is bigger than that nonsense. I was sleeping. Hundreds of people call me.
Go back to bed. Go back to bed.
No,
Go
I am
sleep.
here to set the record straight. What Mr. Costa did not tell you people is that this money was actually $60 million and it came in 2 trenches. The first trench that Mr. Costa did not tell the Liberian people was the first 30 million involving a guy by the name of Dr.
Are you validating the story now?
He should not be interrupted. He should not be interrupted, please. He should not be. Let me try to. Let's do this.
They interrupted me yesterday.
Listen, no, today is not yesterday. Please, I beg you guys. If I don't go ahead.
The first 30 million.
The Congo are paying debt too much.
Excuse me. The first 30 million, Mr. Costa should have explained in depth that it involved one Dr. Kofi, some Chinese, some Russians, and they were supposed to use algorithms to be able to wipe off his Costa many sentimental disagreements that he had, and that they were also going to hack our elections. He should explain that with Dr. Kofi. The second trench that he should have talked about should have involved a guy by the name of the Don. They did not explain that. That was where he brought in the Wologisi something. You, Gibson, should go and choose. Costa says, say you were running the D. What happened with the Wologisi? The second trench of the 30 million, a Gulfstream jet would have been brought to pick up he, Costa, and JMB to take them to a country called Bahrain. Did Costa explain that one to you? And that this 30 million would have been the one that would have consumed the Wologisi. Did he explain that to you? As a journalist, I'm asking you, having revealed this down to the public, that Mr. Costa's stories about the 230 million, which would have amounted to 60 million, Mr. Costa should have also explained that Dr. Kofi told them that this 30 million would have been brought into Liberia secretly, and that he, Costa, wanted to buy Amin Moda's house to store this money there. Did he tell you that? Did Mr. Costa tell you that Dr. Kofi advised them that this 30 million could not be transferred to the bank, but that it should have gone through something they call Hawaii, meaning you pay in Ghana, they give it to you in Liberia. Did Mr. Costa explain all that? We are sitting here, we are quiet for a reason. Because the old man said, Costa, I forgave you, meaning everything you plan to destroy me, I leave it to God. Because you and I know Article 82 is clear. Had the old man received that money, that would have been a violation of our law. Number one, they would have arrested him. Number two, and the so-called money was a scam anyway. Number two, that Mr. Costa going as VP, owing to his recklessness, the ANC people would not have voted. CDC people would not have voted him. UP people would not have voted him. The old man would have lost. Number three, with the scheme about the 30 Toyota pickup trucks, I saw the invoice. You're not talking to a stranger yet. That invoice they gave him, he was fooling himself that they would have driven the pickup through the border into Morovia. My friend Gibson, focus on your campaign. You don't know anything. You just come. And when you just come, don't raise new song. So I'm telling you now, Costa whole scheme is on a plateau, will not be distracted. He would have enjoyed his 2 million after the election. Fortunately for him, he can begin to count like Poe or bring himself down, or else more will be reviewed.
Thank you very much, Fago. Let me bring in Dr. Richardson. Dr. Richardson, you want to
can I have 30 seconds?
Let me bring in Dr. Richardson. We'll come to you, Gibson, please.
I'm not getting into this spider story that's,
that now is spider story. Ain't said our behavior pattern, doctor.
No, yes, the story that.
For you say, now you say a spider story, but when you say, you saw a party.
Can I speak, please? Liberians, there are some people that will come here and try to just talk loud.
That means, don't say some people, I don't want to win it.
Well, I'm not sure if you're the only person have done that today, but
I mean, I don't know one can do it.
Okay, well, Fagon will come here and speak loud as if to say that his mouth is the Bible for what will happen in Liberia. We know very well that Liberians can make their own decisions, and the story that Costa presented, we all have to critically think about it. And in my thinking about it, I saw patterns that I just only relate to Costa. The issue of people, Baka betraying people, it's a pattern. He betrayed Ellen. He went and kicked her out of the UP party. Okay? He was very instrumental in that. The issue of being an instigator, this is not new. And that kind of the scene with him being a troublist, this is not new. Manipulating others, this is not new. Many people can vouch for that. So I saw patterns, and you don't have to be a psychologist to see those kind of practices. You just have to open your eyes. And some of you guys just want to think everything is okay, and the old man is forgiving and all of that stuff. This has to do with our country. If this man gets into power and has these tendencies where he's going to cut a speech from people or want people to idolize him, otherwise he's not going to connect with you, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be very similar to what we have right now. We're going to have a president who is not speaking to the nation, and that's not what we want.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. Folks, this is very important for us to move on with this ANC story. I'm going to put this up again. I want you guys to take a look at this. Can you guys see it? It's in the chat room. If you in the chat room, if not Mempe Gono, I think we got to share with you what Daniel Sando, but it's in the chat room. Can you guys please put the entire letter up? Damo, if you hear Nelson, two form of that letter you need to put up. We need the letter up, please, not just this one, the next copy. So we discussed something yesterday. If you guys can remember, Fadiga, I think you remember, we said that they had a meeting on Saturday, correct? And the meeting that was held on Saturday, a lot of folks came after me and said, well, stand on your line. There was no meeting held. These are confirmation that the meeting was held. And after they had the full meeting, it blew off because Spoon revealed the ANC problem, the internal problem. And a meeting was called, according to this document, a meeting was called today, yesterday, July 10, 2023, to suspend Madam Kula Kazulu, the chair, Moserado County Chapter ANC and CPP, suspend Mr. James Dunso, co-chair, Moserado County Chapter ANC, and suspend Mr. Ezekiel Giddens, coordinator, District 16 ANC. Why are they suspending them? I'm going to ask the team to just post the entire letter because I don't have the time to read this entire thing. Why are they suspending them? To our amazement, if you read what we're posting on right now from the chat room, from the ANC chat room, the CPP chat room, because we reveal some of this thing was revealed, they had a meeting today. Can you please put up? Can you please put it up? They were cited to a meeting yesterday, July 10, 2023, at 11 a.m. by the CPP National Chair of the CPP, Honorable Musa Hassan Bediti, regarding unfolding speculations, as he placed it. Too much noise is around, and as a national chair of the CPP, he needed to immediately intervene. The meeting was presided over by Honorable Bediti himself. We also had in attendance Mr. Aloysius Stowe. You remember I told you about the fight between Aloysius Stowe and Morale Yekula a few weeks back in Liberia. And Mr. Cummings were in that meeting, and he said nothing. He got up, he walked out, and Aloysius Stowe and Mr. Morale carried on. That they were able to, other folks intervene, but not Mr. Cummings. So Musa Bennett is saying too much noise around, and the schedule of meeting, as you can see, the Secretary General Aloysius Stowe of the ANC and the Vice Chair for Administration of the Alternative National Congress, Reverend Kennedy. They were all in the meeting yesterday. The meeting was held under the very calm atmosphere with the necessary clarity provided by the National Chair, principally regarding who chairs the Moserado County campaign team. Fadiga, let me put this down. When I said it yesterday, that folks don't want Aloysius to people say, Stanton, no, you're making up story. We're going to read the rest of this thing. If you go down in this explanation, you will find the reason why they suspended those 3 individuals. The in-house fighting has intensified within ANC and CPP. We got more information coming up on my phone, and I hope they can upload it. When we say they have a meeting, they say we lie. When we say they are fighting each other for power, they say we lie. When we said that people decided to spend over $470,000 on retired suffering, 70,000 which went in thin air, and 400 that they cannot give account for, people say we lie. But we have this information. Let me talk to you, Fadiga. Where is Mr. Cummings in all this?
Look, Mr. Comey has shown to be a very indecisive leader, one that doesn't take action on anything. Look, the fact that this is not the first time or the second time or the third time we heard Kennedy Sani was here yesterday. He made mention of some incident that happened with Tar One Way. We saw Mr. Comey do that again with the Edith Gonglo situation in Nima County. It didn't turn into an all brawl. They had the fight, they fought, and we saw what happened in Nima County. That prepared Jeremiah Kuhn, who going to be the next vice president, to win that seat. Edith lost, and the CPP they lost that seat in Nima at that time. And we are seeing this pattern. He has this kind of laissez-faire approach, and I think he tend to take sides. Look, and one of my problem, what concerns me the most about Mr. Cummings is he says one thing and does another thing. We saw him remove this man Asif Atukwe from his position just on a hunch for some book that he probably never read. He just listened to the gossip on the street and he moving, and that ended up being one of the greatest or saddest moment in his political career. We saw how that turned out. And then 1 minute, so it depends on what comments you will wake up with the next morning, because he tend to not have a comment.
Thank you very much. But I want to bring in the other guys. Thank you, Fadika, because this is very interesting. If you read the end of this, after the meeting following the departure of Tremability, copies of letters suffix, and that's the letter we just showed, presented to Mosorado County Chair, Madam Kula Kiazuru. And after the meeting, everything was said, well and done. The people decided to suspend those folks. This is a letter. And the letter was signed by the national chairman, Senator Daniel Neten. Reason why they suspended them, read the letter for yourself. And you see up there on the first line of this letter, July 8, 2023 meeting that I told you guys about. The meeting that I told you guys about, that they are now collecting every money that is collected here in America. Cummings has instructed them that they can put it through the LBMB. LBMB, if you don't know about it, if you want to travel somewhere, it's like a hotel stay, but it's in the people's home. You guys here on the show, you know about it, right, Fadika? You're going to say, I will come in this person's home. They set their home up, everything. Mr. Cummings, Elias Morgans, and the rest of them, they are taking funds that people collect here in America to invest in LBMB. Okay? I'm not saying it. It's from their own discussion in the chat room. I have document to that effect. When I said there was a meeting here July 8th, they said I was lying. Fagon can testify to it. There was a meeting here. They said, no, Stanton, where are you taking this thing from? It's right there. That means writing this thing, my people. They are collecting the money. Instead of them carrying it to Liberia for the sole purpose, instead of Daniel Neten having check and balance on the money, guess what? They are investing the money in LBMB.
So that's money laundering. They are laundering money.
Yeah, but
they are laundering money.
If I don't talk to me, and Daniel Sano will keep that to Richardson for last, this is getting very, very serious. The issue about this stuff. Fagon, we come to you.
Well, you know, Al Hussein said something profound yesterday. He said, even the money people don't just take money and offer it like that. Howbeit, everybody says, Cummings got money, Cummings got money, Cummings got money. And all of the people in America, instead of selling their people full money, they take the money, they give it to Cummings here. I am speaking, unlike Dr. Richardson, who's look at somebody's story And based on assertion on the story, I am speaking from fact that the order was given to invest people hard-earned money that they could have interest accrued on in the bank, or they themselves could have joined a susu.
But please don't interrupt him. We'll come to you, Dr. Richardson. Don't interrupt him. Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson, I beg you, Mama. Dr. Richardson, let's have some order here. Do not interrupt him, please. We will come to you thereafter. If I'm going to finish up, please.
Dr. Richardson, thank you for praising JMB. We're all knowing it. When you call him a tribalist. A tribalist in political science that I studied, that I put on my test paper, is a person with strong political solidarity. Typical. Just go Google it. Tribalist in political science. Tribalist in political science. Not psychiatrist.
Dr. Richardson, we're not. Dr. Richardson, I beg you. Dr. Richardson, you
call me a tribalist?
Yes.
I'm gonna make your point. I'm gonna make your point. We gotta go. Other people gotta speak, please.
And that's somebody will try. If you finish pressing the man, we'll play your tip. Now,
keep all the tips. Pay your own too. Pay your own while you are calling.
So let's move ahead now, guys. Let's move ahead.
Here is a person who claims to be Mr. Clean Hands. The people take their money and give it to you here in America. Send the money back home to run the party day-to-day activities. You take the people money here and you put it in Airbnb. You invest it. The money was not given to you for investment purposes. The money was given to you for political purposes. And if you invest the people money, what do you do with the profit? It's the same thing that he did during 2017. He carried all the motorbikes and the pickup trucks. Immediately after the election, he took it back from everybody and he sold it. What happened to that money? Nobody knows.
Wow.
He went in South Africa where he got a family business. And his son went in South Africa.
I am saying again, when Dr. Francine come here and say, Mr. Clean Hands, Dr. Francine, when you ready to talk, tell me whether the people pay their money for Cummins to invest it in Airbnb. Tell me whether the people money that they gave, their sweat that they gave the few days, was to elect a president or to do business here in America. What's the business name before he put it in Airbnb?
The business name Airbnb. Airbnb, that's the business name. That is trying to talk to us. That is trying to talk to us real quick.
Does not own a kitchen in Maryland County. Does not own a bathroom. He sleeps.
It's kitchen and one
people money.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. Fagon got to finish.
14 houses or 23.
Fagon got to finish.
That's what we
Fagon got to finish. Dr. Richardson. Fagon got to finish.
Let me finish.
Make sure I get a chance to speak.
Yes, ma'am. You will.
But they told you will come after me. What kind of first tablet you take every day around 6 o'clock?
What are you going to give me? In your class, they want to get
Let me finish.
I'm going to finish quick now. We got to come if I go hurry up, please.
What kind of man? You rather take the Brimpo hard and sweat.
Well, you crying one of the
invested.
But Dr. Richardson, hold on now.
What kind of man? You take the Brimpo hard and money and invest it in houses here in America, Airbnb. But you cannot pay a bamboo house in your county, Maryland. You don't even have a kitchen or a bathroom, but you taking the money to invest it. Like Brimpo, shine your eye. Man, why would take your money here and put it in Airbnb here? Your whole money in Liberia will go in his pocket. Because at the end of the day, you Stanton, you are kind enough to the Liberian people. Let Cummins come and show all his house in Maryland County or his bathroom, his outside bathroom. This is a man we gave the highest honor to in the country in 2011. Say he came to our country as financial analyst in 2007. Till today, he don't even own outside toilet in Maryland. Outside toilet that you can bear with bamboo and put BB steak too and D4 feet hole. But he take our money here that people contribute for political reason and invest it in Airbnb. That sort of man, that a man you want to care about,
How many meaning amen, guys?
Thank you very much, Fago. Thank you very much. Thank you. Guys, listen. We're gonna go over to Dr. Richardson and no interruption, please. Dr. Richardson, you have the floor, man.
I thought you said Daniel Sano.
No, I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Let's just
Dr.
address
Richardson.
this issue about Mr. Cummings being gay. I want to address it today. You know,
No. We're talking about the husband.
No, you don't tell me what to speak about on this show.
But why you were telling me what to talk? You were talking about the husband.
No, you don't started telling me what to speak. But anyway, Daniel Sano brought this.
Why not leave that woman? Let she talk free.
Let me address it. Usually, when people talk about another man or woman's sexuality, they have something
talk about the horse.
About their sexuality.
Man, stop interrupting the woman, my man.
But Dr. Richardson, Dr. Richardson, you will speak. Dr. Richardson, I beg you, let me set a correction, please. Guys, we got to protect Dr. Richardson. She must speak because this is about ANC.
Why not protect me?
On the contrary, I don't think anyone here on this show today say anything about Mr. Cummings being gay. I didn't hear it. And if anybody said it, we would debunk them.
That he didn't want to mention. So
no, he didn't call Cummings name. He said certain individuals.
Anytime a man or woman on this show or anywhere else for that matter speaks about another person's sexuality, you are insecure. You may be practicing your own insecure sexual practices that you don't want to come up with. Okay? So that is the matter, and let's put that to rest. You know that this whole idea about Mr. Cummings' sexuality came from the past election where somebody lied on him. Let's clarify that. And you know, the only way I can address what you talking about, Fago, and I don't even know if it's necessary for me to go there. The issue is Liberians are suffering right now. They are suffering from the lack of leadership that we have in George Weah's government.
So why you put that money in Airbnb?
Would you not interrupt me, please? It's becoming very disturbing right now. It's all lies. When you come here and you don't know the facts, you have this disjointed information. Oh, he put money on Airbnb. Y'all can't bring the facts for us to see it. Please put it up. When you're ready, y'all can put up contract here. Y'all can put up facts, signed documents, text messages. Put it up. That Mr. Cummings owns an Airbnb. As far as I know, he owns a home in Cinco in Monrovia. Okay? And did George Weah build a home in Grand Crew County?
Go at George Weah. I'm going
to leave the woman. Let's talk about
the question is, you should be asking, did George Weah build a home in Grand Crew County? And that's not even important. What is important is Mr. Cummings is confident, unlike Buckeye or unlike Weah.
Man, I get hard in my brother.
He can lead the country. He has many experience. He doesn't just have 42 years in Liberia. And he is able to...
You won't be president and not get horse in my country.
So Fago, you know you're a propagandist. You come here...
You won't be president, but you don't have horse in my country.
Let me him.
You know, that's tribalistic thinking. You have to have tribalistic thinking, okay? You have to have a home in a certain part of the country to know that you're Liberian. That is not what Mr. Cummings speaks about when he talks to Liberian people. He wants a diverse country. You can be free to build your house wherever you want to build your house. You don't have to say, I'm building my house in Maryland County. And that information is just childish. It's not even called for.
Dr. Richardson, can I ask you a question?
Well, it depends on if I will answer that question. Be ready for the answer. If you're ready for the answer.
I understand you spoke about everything else, but let's talk about the reason why they are suspending 3 of your partisans. You like to share it because now we revealed the letter?
You can read the letter. The letter was here.
You have the letter. We put it in the chat room.
You can read it. You're the moderator for the day. You can read the letter. I just came on and saw you put the letter up.
But in the chat room, you have it, Dr. Richardson.
Yeah, I have.
You read it. You read it, Dr. Richardson. Can you tell us why?
Didn't everybody else read it over here?
I want to hear from you. Why was it necessary to suspend them?
I actually have no thoughts on that because I have not had the opportunity to process it or even ask about it. Okay, I just saw it today when I got here. I just came from work. As you see, I had to get a little bit former, so I just came from work. So I have not had the opportunity to find out other information about it. But if it is true, if the letter is true, then it is a letter from ANC that I saw Daniel Nitin signed it.
Daniel Sando.
Can I come in now?
Daniel Sando, please proceed.
Well, so I know we're speaking to the issue of the suspension, but I'd like to address the attempt by Dr. Richardson to kind of paint a negative picture of my initial position. And like everyone on the show, I have never accused Mr. Cummings of being, quote, a gay. I have never done that.
What's your initial position?
You talk about
repeat yourself.
Behavior
What's your
pattern.
initial position? Repeat yourself.
You talk about behavior pattern of Joseph Waka.
Don't.
And I said to you, want to interrupt me?
What was your initial position?
You want to interrupt me?
Let the audience know what's your initial position.
Satan protect Daniel Sando. Protect.
I still got 3 minutes ago.
You can just throw me the topic. What was your initial position?
But since you want to make it an issue, I do understand that from whatever Mr. Cummings said, I know he now regrets he responded to that question in 2017. That when he was asked what's the position of gay, he said it's a lifestyle he struggled with. And then when people try to mention it, you say people feel insecure. Of course,
yeah, because you don't understand English. That's what it is. You don't know what it is. When somebody says it's a lifestyle you struggle with, that's English. That's
of course, Dr. Richardson. I'm insecure. I'm insecure with a man who has a lifestyle that he struggle with.
I expect some of you to be educated.
I have my moral decency. My moral decency does not permit me.
When you said that,
Dr. Richardson, you have to be civil.
Look, listen.
You have to be civil.
So let me listen to you now. You know what? I respect you and I expect you. I hold you in high esteem. I expect you to be able to explain to Liberian people that it is English, okay? If he says it's a lifestyle that I struggle with, it doesn't mean that he's gay.
That's not going to be a spokesperson.
Sexual.
I'm not talk behind closed door, man.
I'm making a poor wine incoming month.
Daniel, wait.
Continue to spew that information because you are insecure with your sexuality. Look at your haircut. I could look at you right now and say that haircut that hairstyle belongs to somebody who's gay.
That doesn't make it up.
I'm not making it up.
Oh, man, stop it. Daniel, can I say something to you, please? I beg, Daniel, hold on 1 minute. Daniel, hold on 1 minute, please. I beg him, please. Can we now move on to this suspension letter and the in-house fighting of ANC?
No, but you're not doing me justice.
Daniel, sometime, hey man, Daniel, come back. Where you left? Come back.
Remove me.
Where is he?
You're removing me.
Daniel.
You have your co-moderator. You have your co-moderator interrupting me.
No, we were not.
I tried to restore some civility.
Daniel, I agree.
But listen, not ANC mass choir to be talking together.
Daniel, I agree. But it says 43 in the next 2 minutes. We got to wrap things up.
And just ask that already to control your emotions more.
Real quick, go back to this letter thing. Why there's in-house fighting in ANC? What do you think? That they will call 3 different meetings just from Saturday alone?
Well, Stanton, let me just say this to Dr. Richardson, that indeed I feel uncomfortable with that lifestyle of Mr. Cummings because my upbringing doesn't accept it. So I feel uncomfortable with it. Fine. To the issue, I knew from the day that Mr. Cummings decided to be very adamant and insistent that he must be president at all costs, and even those who tried to give him some frank piece of advice to say, Mr. Cummings, the way you're proceeding, it's not good. You are destroying your own political life. He said we didn't like him. So once you got Musa Berete in that room, things will continuously get to deteriorate for Mr. Cummings. One thing Mr. Berete knows is to press that scatter button. Anywhere Mr. Berete is, harmony will never coexist. So it comes as no surprise. I know for a fact that right now, ANC Global and CPP are not working together. There's a serious issue of accountability, and I'm happy that you also raise it. So those who that are standing up against Mr. Ability, Mr. Cummings will not condone the in the CPP or ANC. So the axe has fallen on those people. I'm sorry for Makula. I know Makula very well. She's a very hard-working partisan. She's a mobilizer, community mobilizer. But again, people who are not winning election will begin to take the kind of action on the eve of the election. Our doors are open.
Real quick, I gotta say this to you real quick before the others come in. Fadika, Johnny, Gibson, Mempe, each of you gonna have your 1 minute to speak on this issue. But the issue is that the accusation was Ezekiel, Makula, and the other person, they were going to open a disruptive protest. Okay, it's on that letter. They were going to disturb. They were going to go to the headquarters, the party headquarters, and call a full protest. Reason why, I want to give the ANC chance to tell us the reason why. These people are going to have protests on their own party headquarters. When we talk about the money, when we talk about the mismanagement, when we talk about the job position, let's give ANC the chance. Let it be very clear. They are going to protest on their own party headquarters. And because of that, Musa Berete and Daniel Nathan, Aloysius told, they said, we got to suspend these people. And they did. When we talk about what is happening with the Airbnb, in America, Dr. Richardson said we should show document. We will. Trust me, I'm good at that.
So Cummings is not playing the Musa playbook.
They are not. Because the thing is that, hey man, we don't want to go there. But when we say Mr. Cummings, this election is over for him, and it's just between Joseph Boakai and Josh Manawia, people don't believe us. This election, let me do my closing because this election is so over for Mr. Cummings. Those of you guys that are still supporting Mr. Cummings, y'all keep your financial resources. Y'all keep your energy. Listen, today I received a picture. They cannot be buses, the yellow buses. Mr. Cummings are going to register SKD. They put ANC. Then they get a cardboard on the bus saying, who all want to come? Mr. Cummings going to register. The guy will say, who all want to come to SKD? We got a picture, we got a video. The man was begging for people. Mr. Cummings going to register. Who want to come on the bus? They have only 3 people on the bus. Okay? To escort Mr. Cummings to register. It's getting horrible for Mr. Cummings. It's like, why force the man? Okay? It's getting so bad for Mr. Cummings. So I know my sister will interrupt me. So sometimes you gotta say, I've never seen the behavior of Dr. Richardson before in my life.
Too disruptive.
Yeah, Dr. Richardson interrupted me, but that's okay.
Because you guys come here every day when we have important things that the Liberian people would like to learn from. Y'all spend your time talking about somebody who just said.
Okay, at the end of the day, I want to say that was a beautiful show.
Who has no potential in this race.
That was a beautiful show from my end. Let's do 1 minute closing real quick. We got to go. Kawu, you go first, your 1 minute.
You know, Dr. Richardson, I think I need Dr. Richardson number 2, not Jack Gibson woman number 2.
I don't know. You gotta ask Dr. Richardson.
She in there. Their assistant Dr. Richardson, she an interesting woman. You know, she come here and attack Joe Boyka all the time, but when they attack Mr. Cummings, then she shifted to we need to talk about what we are doing. Then when that letter being out, even before we came on the show, you say you just seen it and stem and signed by your chairman. But I don't see why we should waste time on this. This is a 2-horse race. And in this 2-horse race, we are in a comfortable lead. And for the ANC to ever reach the second round, it means they have to eliminate the CDC, who is second to us. So to even waste time on something like that, and the fight that someone had to retire before coming to Liberia, stopping, you know, with Metro Reese for some time, almost a year before acquiring a place in Sinker, which is a rental property. He lives on the top floor. All of those things, some people do it, they retire before they go. I mean, other people, they're very connected to whom they are here. They work odd jobs. They try to build a home in their place. You know, it happens. People have different interests. Now I'm even looking at seriously constructing in Nimba because in Monserrado, where I was born, I've done my own share there. People are different. Some people will not invest in the place they're not heavily vested in, or they were not there. I'm not holding him to that. I just think we're wasting time on a party that is not a major player. Yeah, I want us to remember that Jose Yima Boyka is the means through which Liberia can move forward. We need to give our support to him, Honorable Jeremiah Kuhn. If we are serious about change, I will encourage my brother Johnny from Linu. All of you little parties come together and let us support the old man, because the people are resolved, because he's closer to the finish line, because Liberia is at stake. We talk here about the drugs issue, we talk about corruption, we talk about all the things that are happening. This is the time for Jose Yima Boyka. Mr. Kumi, you know, he's a guy that probably has.
Thank you very much, Manpa.
No, I didn't have time. Mr. Kumi,
I know, you don't have to have all the time. We'll come back tomorrow. Manpa, thank you very much.
Maybe I have leadership ahead of him in 2032, but
I don't think so. I don't think so. Mr. Cummings is done in Liberia politics. I don't think so. Mr. Cummings cannot regain himself. Mr. Cummings is done in Liberia politics. He's done. Mr. Cummings, let me say this, and people think this is a joke. Mr. Cummings have caused the greatest harm to his political life. Mr. Cummings has caused the greatest harm to his political life. He does in Liberia politics. Mr. Cummings' best option to be president for ULA here in America. That's his best option. Be ULA president, everybody will celebrate you and will say, come by. Well, I will support him. Mr. Cummings is done. Mr. Cummings can run every chapter here in America, Pennsylvania, or New Jersey, Chicago. The people will contribute to him. He will help with the immigration status. He will help with the social development status of Liberians here in America. He will advocate for them. He will fight for them. And this is why it will end. Mr. Cummings' political lifeline in Liberia have come to an end. And this is about George Manawea and Jose Yima Boyka. On that note, I want to say thank you for joining us. We cannot do the late night politics today, but we will do it tomorrow. It's a new series coming up on Spoon, Late Night Politics. The late night politics is when we just sit down and open the phone line and enjoy ourselves.
Hey man, let me advertise the team for at least 30 seconds.
Go ahead. Go ahead, then we'll bring it games in.
Late night politics.
But let me talk before I go. Go ahead.
Boris, you don't get horse, you won't be president. Money back in Debbie, tell about money back horse. You don't get horse, you won't be president. You ain't a partner, you won't be president. Then you Cummings, you get more money more than our two people. You come to our country.
But you serious?
In Maryland, you won't be president.
Affection never going to fight. Affection, but money back.
Let's go to Gibson. Gibson, Dr. Richardson Fagon. Dr. Richardson Fagon team, I have to leave. The late night show will be coming your way. The late night show will be, it's a new series on Spoon. We want to say after the Spoon Talk, we'll take a 1 hour break and come back 9 p.m. Okay? That will be 1 p.m. in Liberia, 9 p.m. on this time. We will come, it's open, it's for anything on your mind, you got to come up. We will open a full line to all Liberians. They have to call, they got to tell us what's burning on their heart. It's late night Liberia politics. We will talk about senator, we will gossip, we will laugh, we will joke. Don't come with your feelings. We will tell you about anything, because the late night politics series will be coming by way of Spoon. That will be 2 hours from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. 3 a.m. in Liberia. 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. in Liberia. We will jam the network every evening, every night. We want to say thank you, folks. And now I give the show back to Dr.
And that is so innovative. I would just like to congratulate Spoon for that. You are so smart. That's so innovative. And I know that Liberian people will appreciate it.
They're going to run behind me again. They're going to go ahead and don't do late night politics.
I said, we tell you why Gibson, Jerry want to imitate Prince Johnson.
We got to go back. I heard that Johnny saying that he will support Joseph Yima Boaka in the second round. But we got to go back to Dr. Francine Chini, what Rich is saying. Please.
It's traditionally incumbent upon him to support us in the second.
Folks, again, we want to say the flyer will be out tomorrow, Late Night Politics from 9 p.m. to 11
who is inviting me?
Time, and that would be from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Liberian time. If you have got nothing to do, you can't fall asleep, join the Late Night Politics.
You told the people, who told you that he can't sleep, so he must do show.
Jawea said he can't sleep, so I got to entertain him. So that what we're having a Late Night Politics for, we get Joe. We are
Stanton, I want to say.
Yes, sir.
Fagon, I want to say is I want to give you a little bit of advice. You see, people like Dr. Francine, when we're talking to them, we should not talk in the educational, demeaning way. You know,
why you came from here?
Let me get that. I beg you guys. Wait. Leave Dr. Francine and Fagon alone. Dr. Francine, please take your show. Dr. Francine, please take your show. Wait. Dr. Francine, please take your show.
I want to interrupt him.
Dr. Francine. Guys, listen now.
That one is true. That dollar store glasses. Yeah, you're right. That's true.
Terrell going to get a man with 2,000 to buy a plane ticket. You didn't put anything on top of it. Dr. Francine, I beg you, Mama, please take care of the show. I gotta go. Love you all. Have a good night. But Fagon is saying we gotta go to Fagon.
Why you guys adding me to me tonight? What's going on? Yeah. You ain't want me to talk?
So we don't give our parting comment?
I think it should be all. I'm not staying here with all of these people.
Mr. Fagon, yeah. Mr. Fagon, yeah.
No, let Fagon go.
Well, are we going to close?
Well, look, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And Nepet, can you please send me your number? First of all, I'm planning your dinner before I go, and you are one of those I want to participate. I'm planning a 10-person dinner, and I'm still looking for the best restaurant, and that's the reason for that. So if I can't find the 10 people, I find 5 people, that would be great. That's my way of, coming back here and mingling with good people. And you're one of the good people, so.
Thank you. I'm so humble. Truly, you are our husband and you are our partner in the second round.
Look at that. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you and bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Well, can I go first? I got a call, but I just got one or two things I got to say to my ANC partisans. Am I allowed to go?
Mind your business.
Oh,
okay.
I see. Why y'all so happy when bad news came about Joseph Boaka? Come with punish you because that Mali man cow. By your talk, your ace on that cow.
Look at the news. Look at the news. You got us prayer now. Then you see that bad news.
The easy book the cow.
Easy book the cow.
Yes, my business. That I can tell you.
Well, no, man. I want to end on this. I know we the ANC folks. Look. Every party has their own internal wrangling. It's now common in politics.
Mm-hmm.
But we will see these things come and go. But what we want to prevent it, and what experienced Boaka have sought to do is to make sure that he doesn't give credence to childish story. And like I said, for some of us that have been on social media for a long time, story that they usually last for long. I'm surprised that nothing happened. Like people were breaking, especially my ANC folks. And when this guy came here and brought all these things, like, man, Spider story, who thought about better thing? He thought about the man signal, he thought about all kind of things, and people there say, no, the story doesn't add up. Even a caveman can see it that it doesn't add up. But I would say this. In life, part of growing, one of the things I wanted to say yesterday, I lost my train of thought. What I wanted to say is, in life, you have to be very, very mindful how you treat other people. You don't want to establish pattern. And the pattern we have seen with this young man is this clear out of deception and not caring for nobody but only himself. Only a little baby would behave like that. Only a little child Grown adult think about other people. You care. When you come, you eat from the food, you leave some for your friend. You know, be considerate of other people. This man have made friends, lose friends, and this thing is the continuum pattern. And I'm look, he had a bright future in Liberian, our political dispensation, but because of greed and indiscipline, I think he has lost relevance. When you listen to the callers here today, they said it. Some of those people supported this guy, and they had no business supporting him again. But what he did, he shot himself in his leg, and I think he put a final nail in his political coffin. I don't think he's going to resuscitate from this. But I like what Ambassador Boyka did. He didn't treat it as anything. He just brushed it aside, and we're going to move on. The train is in full gear. I think the Liberian people look. One of the reasons that I support Ambassador Boyka is when you listen to the voice of the people. They say the voice of the people is the voice of God. I don't know how loud we want the people to cry, but if you listen to the call, nobody called Taiwan Gongro, nobody called Johnny Unome, nobody called anybody else. All the callers here spoke of one person, Ambassador Boyka. What more do we need? You're just John on. Let's make the tea a one round thing. Come home, Johnny, my brother. Come home. You already in Lofa, so that when even high again. Just go to the paper, say paper that you know, just start wasting our time because look, George Weah, it won't do anything. George Weah can be president here. George Weah gotta go. The drugs that those people have brought and infused in our children. If no other thing, forget about the city, we'll take other thing for them. That one we'll take it. But the drugs that they have brought into our poor and destitute community, this man should be indicted and thrown in prison for gross negligence. And, you know, so you know, I will leave it at that. But I'm more confident that the election is over. And to my Cummings folks, abandon this whole campaign. Cummings has no chance. Every poll now poll Cummings at 3-4% way back. So I don't even know why you guys still in the race. Just come home. I'm not worried about him. I'm just worried about.
If he's not in the race, I don't understand why I can spend your time talking about somebody who.
I'm worried about him going and being disgraced. I mean, so terribly that he will not recover.
Are you trying more than to be real, funny guy? Funny guy.
I care about the man.
Mind your business, so don't let me play a tip.
I see her. I see her.
Mind your business because got a tip all on the internet. Okay.
Can I come in?
Go ahead, Sandra.
So let me continue from where Fadiga stopped. And I think as the election draw closer, we are not departing from the trend. Nothing new is happening. And I have always maintained on this platform, the election is basically a two-horse race. Seditionists are seeking to retain the rogue regime headed by George Weah, and we, the agent of changing the opposition, we are seeking to have him replaced by a reputable statesman who has served his country with distinction, who has integrity and experience that you can trust. And I have no doubt that in spite of all of the subversive efforts that are being employed by our friends from the ANC, I know by the dawning of the hour, they're going to come to terms with it. I know it is difficult to accept. I know it's a bitter pill to swallow that Mr. Cummings' story is not adding up. And it's hard time we seize the unnecessary attack against Joseph Boyka. Because the more you do this thing, the more love for the man people develop. Aren't you seeing it? Aren't you seeing it? Even though that agency will have the audience believe that she can accept half truth and reject the other part of the story from Costa, when we open the lines, the callers just validated our argument that there was no need to lend any credence to what Costa said about JMB. So, I mean, sometimes your mental health is important to support a candidate whom you already know is doomed for failure. And, you know, he's taking your time going on social media You want to money other people. JMB is the only candidate in the race that is fighting two opponents. George Weah, who is the incumbent, has the opposition to contend with. But JMB, who is an opposition figure, has the government to contend with. And he also has people from the opposition to contend with. So it is not fair. I mean, I'm sure you're not better off with Liberia on a George Weah for the second term, except you want to say otherwise to me. So a vote for Cummings is a wasted effort. For me, it's a vote indirectly for George Weah. Because the way to kick George Weah out of the election, the first round, is to rally. Everybody rally around JMB. He's the only person. He's the only Liberian who is capable, who has the wherewithal to defeat George Weah. Mr. Cummings cannot. Gonglo cannot. We do have respect for them. We respect their individual political right to contest. But sometimes you have to put country first.
10 more seconds, we gotta go home today.
Country first would mean that you do not, waste the time of the country to say, I might contest at all costs because it is my constitutional right. Even Daniel Sano has got a right to contest. But do I go on the do I go to neck now and say can't raise up the contest?
But why are you worried, Daniel? I don't get this thing on Yahoo.
Because you are wasting the country time. You are wasting the country time. The election should be money you're collecting in America. You're trying to reinvest the money in this and that.
Daniel, please, man.
So people who know they're not going anywhere, they will have fundraising rally and divert the money to different ventures. But we all know we're going somewhere. That's why we're raising money for our pool washers. Because we know it's very key.
Do that. That's good.
But again, Mr. Cummings supporters are Liberians. The only thing we can do is to appeal to them. Don't get carried away by the distraction. Your love for Cummings is not bigger than your love for Liberia. Let us put country first. The disaster that we are representing is by far dangerous. It's by far detrimental to the survival of our country than your love and support for Cummings. So we call on everybody. I know the psychology of our people, they don't like to lose. As the election get closer, that's why even when you open the line before, you say, who voted for Cummings, you get 2-3 vote first. But now when you open the line, maybe only one person will call because the reality is setting in. So, I mean, Dr. Richardson, thank you for this opportunity.
Good.
It's been a very frank conversation, and we look forward to being here again tomorrow to continue.
So, Daniel, let me ask you a question before you leave, and while we're doing our closing. This is a predominantly UP station, as we saw today.
Let me close, man. Open new conversation. This will take long again. Let your close.
Maybe I know you to go home. No, he's saying something. So obviously, we expect the people who listen to this show are in favor of Joseph Boakai. So they will call.
When did this show become a UB platform?
As evidence, as all of us, anytime all of us come on this show, and I'm the only.
You have to respect the cutoffs. You have to respect your listenership. You can't say it's a UP platform.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm not a UP person.
That's a bit close.
You have Ben Senvi, you have Tomolin George, you have Dr. Richardson, you have what you call it, man. You have all of people who are supporting Cummings. You have Mariah, who are insulting people every day. At least for we don't insult people, we come here, we discuss the issue. You know,
I'm not sure about that, but
we're very arrogant on the platform, insulting everybody, dismissing the views of other people.
That is thank you. Bye. Go ahead, Tibi.
So I will close by reminding everyone, I see Daniel Sano, a very young man that belongs to the generation. I see my sister Kou Gono, very young, vibrant, young woman that belongs to the generation. And you were asking me to join you. I think my call is to all of you. You guys gotta come. Let us decide to lead ourselves. I know I'm surprised to see that you'll be going back to a generation of, like 20, 30 years back to come and provide leadership for us. Then how do the people next to us have a hope that they will play a role in leadership in this country? So like right now, what we're doing, I mean, I like the way you guys discuss all these issues with, Costa issue with ANC, what's happening in ANC leadership. That's good. I mean, that's good for them. They are showing us who they are, and know what they intend to do in this country. But my request is to all of you, Kou, this generation must take charge of itself. I clearly respect Omen Boakai. He has good plans for Liberia. But those good plans can only be realized by those that will benefit from it. They got to build it for themselves. And so we have a young man with the character, with the education, with the experience within both national government and international cycle. A young man of your type, my sister. Why you want to betray yourself and follow your grandfather? Your grandfather should be in the background advising you.
Yeah,
I mean, we know that, right? Traditionally, our elders elevate us and they stay in the background and advise us. That's what they do. So, right now, because we are worried that the Monima is worried about generation after him, we are thinking critically about how to begin to address the issue of drug. Not necessarily arresting people and putting people in jail, but the generation after us, they are threatened by this drug issue. So Monima and Graceman are taking almost all their day thinking how we can begin to address the issue of young people in this country, both in only 15 counties. By doing that also, Monima looking at how can we begin to create or build nationalism through agriculture. What we're looking at right now is how can we make agriculture to be the means of feeding our young people with Liberian food. So our intent is, school feeding programs should not be importing food from Europe and other places. Our local farmers will produce beans, they will produce cassava, they will produce edibles. We want to use that to let our young generation eat from their own country so they can begin to realize that as Liberian, you should appreciate your food. That's a generational thinker, generational leader. Oh, agriculture. What does that mean? How is it going to help? We are talking about these things about how agriculture, and by the time the government begin to insist that every food produced in Liberia will be used for school feeding programs, immediately agriculture begin to improve. Our local farmers will begin to have some income. That's the first step before we start moving towards mechanized farming. We are simple but strategic. Our next issue is we want to make sure that we have programs in this country that young people talent will be picked up as early as 5 years. So that our country, because again, Dr. Monima and Madam Grace Pan, they are concerned about generation. After them, who takes over? Look, our generation, they did their best. They did their best for where we are. Look, I graduated from high school in 1989, entered the UL 1990. You understand that? I went almost 14 years. I mean, about 12 or more years without having access to go to school back. But I struggled to go back to university to get educated and today I have a master's. It's because the people before us did not put those things in order that caused the armed conflict that hampered our generation. So Dr. Monima and his Vice Admiral Madam Grace Pan, they are thinking about how this generation must provide a leadership that will prepare for the generation after us. It's not about just condemning everybody. We are not here to condemn anybody, but we yet provide the options.
30 seconds, so we gotta go to the please, I beg you.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm closing by saying Liberians, please put on your thinking cap and know that the current scale Monima and Madam Grace Pan, they are the best choice you have to provide leadership for this country come October 2023. Thank you very much. I hope to see you tomorrow. I hope we'll all be taken care of. God will take care of us so we can come back tomorrow vibrant and energized to discuss Liberia's issue and leadership problem. Thank you.
Be safe driving home, okay? See you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, sister.
I know I know it's late over there. So, like you said, he should be safe. Maybe I just want you hold on 1 minute. Let me close. I got a message for you because you might not be listening to Spoon in the car. It's ironic when you tell us that, don't father your old man or don't father your grandpa. But you say your stand-up bearer should put an old man on a ticket. If anything happens, it will be good then for the old man to pick up. But let me tell you something.
She's 56 or she's 56?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, after 6 years, then she's
56. Yeah, and obviously, they will go back. As soon as they win the election, they go 210, they are 2 going back, going race.
First term, then she's
not going to stay there for Grace. We're not going to stay there after Monima. If they win the election, the both of them will stay on board for the first term. If they succeed for second term, the two of them will leave after second term. We give chance for generation coming after us.
Wishes were horses, because let me find out, Papa. If wishes were horses, because we live in palace. I don't want to dwell on that because they're not going anywhere. But let me let you know something. You said we need our old people to advise us. This country is at a place that it needs to be put back on track by an experienced leader, and that leadership we find Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka. When you talk about generational change, he's transitioning to a man who is part of our generation, who is under 50. Honorable Jeremiah Kpankun, who has served government, 3-time elected lawmaker, a man who has shown himself to be a humble leader, who have consolidated all across the country. The people have fallen in love with his humble story, coming from grass to glory. A man who is respected in the place of his birth, who took the UP to Nimba and they show super massive support there. A man who has risen to our national politics and has won the hearts of many Liberians. So I'm telling you, when you talk about generational change, oh man, Joseph Yima Boyka is preparing the stage for that change to go through an experienced young person like ourselves. Again, I would like to say thank you for the platform from Spoon. I'm excited about your new show. I can't wait to listen. And all of the topics we said, whatever happened with Mr. Costa, let us put it behind us. Let us listen to our standard bearer who said that, and you know, he's a son, he can come around, he can work with us. I personally know that Mr. Costa has put a lot into this process in trying helping with UP. Things happen politically, you know, errors happen, things happen out there. Our standard bearer, who is a unifier, Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka, has said, focus on the campaign, leave the distraction. My doors are always open. Who will look for a better leader? The ANC thing we discussed, internal wranglings happen everywhere. These political times, people will explore things. I would just advise my friends in the ANC, in Leno, in all of these parties, even the Conglo party. It is true you want to change, you want to represent a change. But like my brother Daniel Sano say, casting your vote for someone like the ANC or different, you are just trying to increase the chances of the CDC. They are going nowhere. Help us remain in a comfortable lead. Take us further, because in doing that is a patriotic duty. It means you are thinking about Liberia. You love Liberia and you want to build Liberia. And the means to do that is by allowing Honorable Joseph Yima Boyka to be inaugurated come 2024, along with his able, humble, smart, and well-oriented Vice President, the Honorable Jeremiah Kpankun. Thank you, Spoon. It's a pleasure. Brother Nelson Colette, drive safe home. And thank you for all you do, Dad. Thank you, too.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye.
Nelson, see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reggie, and thanks to the both of you.
Okay.
All right.
Well, folks, that's how we like to draw down the curtains on this edition of the program Spoon Talk. Thanks for being here with us for 3 hours. We've been here, of course, making this to happen together. You can join us tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock, Liberian time, 4 o'clock, Eastern time, and make a contribution on the program. We have another great discussion coming up tomorrow on another edition of the program Spoon Talk. We've been live on Spoon 107.5 FM, Fabric 101.1 FM, and Super 95.5 FM as well. The program has been live on Facebook, Spoon TV Live, Fabric TV Live, and Super TV Live, and also on YouTube at Spoon Talk Live. Thanks to all of you who have been following. My name is Nelson Colette. The next time I talk to you here will be on the next edition of the program. Bye-bye. Have a good night.
Politicians want to make their decision.